Good evening. Jasu Jumedi. So we're live on OK 101.7 FM. So now we're live on your partner radio stations at Daruma. Almost picking. Saying all the way from Ship House, Abeka Junction. We're broadcasting and streaming live OK FM Facebook. We're live on High Life Radio of Virginia. You're live on Migachu FM or Kukren Tumini. You're live on Kings Jersey Radio or New Jersey. You're live on so NASPA Radio or UK and you're live so Adam for Media and so Belgium ne France. Good evening, Akwaba so and Komao. And a good afternoon. So Mama more here all the way in Canada and US now. So good afternoon to you. Jasu Jumedi any if I'm a Vim lady. Nene Yabesha Niama Bebre, particularly MPP for primaries now. Ejadem. Everybody is trying to assert their dominance. But before then, we'll talk about Galamsey because Galamsey demonstration also anti-Galamsey demonstration. Now, obviously, Utumuse between NDC and MPP, we have lost the Galamsey fight. No. But Ghana for now, so we have to be honest with ourselves. I think Ghana for now, we are calling for Galamsey not to end. State of emergency. The president, whether former president Kufuor can say on state of emergency, and then we are giving the same pressure to President Mahama on state of the emergency. Ghana for now, because we are the number one beneficiaries. Galamsey. MPP for attempting say more excavators, but they lost in all the Galamsey areas. So what do we want? We don't know what we want. In one breath, we should declare state of emergency. We should ban a Galamsey. We should stop party people. Every year, party for any beneficiaries. The MPP for what we are accusing NDC of doing today is NDC for executives. Many of them are don't report ban you see NDC for penny for part constituency executive MPB crowd kanwa or Galamsey. We like them. We like people like that. Yeah, just can it be. What do we want? You president fight it, but at the same time, you also you Galamsey sikanibidi. You bush for na Galamsey. Mahama, my only attempt to say, oh yeah, the Kufuor no times 2. Move it to it, no. Move it to it, whoever Mahama then about 2028, move to it, and it said the money Kufuor 2020 now. It's young Ghana for a branch to say we must be honest and truthful to ourselves, and determine what we want. Do we want the Galamsey fight to end or a yanya from the air? Yeah, yes, idea hey. You better come merry go round the bassa and Kosiaga. You better come merry go round the bassa and Kosiaga. We and for that matter, anybody say Julius Ebane Babedi Mahama Dio, say if don't get a bebo, say so MPP for side no, a year friends and one a bebo. We must be truthful to ourselves to say, do we want the Galamsey fight to end or a year and say Munuaka? Because for me, where I sit, no, we don't want the Galamsey fight to end. You can't see a person Galamsey fight end it. Because you Ghana for have not shown anything, any eagerness, any willingness. I just ampa. You person Galamsey fight end it. And yes, okay, you no more Galamsey no. You think omo dada so omunyai. Anka by now, you think omo dada so omunyai. We are being hypocritical. Ghana for nyina, including your friends and those in academia. TUC, it's TUC saying omuni mama Galamsey no, omuni moampu. We know it is the people. It is the people ourselves. Yani joining NDC and MPP. We ourselves are the ones who are doing the Galamsey. And then who say you know. But as long as Ghana for the Esubano no, as long as Obiabe bottom bayama. Of course, sorry, on Fata chairman, cry, they never have a chairman. On baby, any classmate to call the Galamsey second to a banner by any classmate among in Akodano. We like that. Look at the Galamsey areas from Obuasi and the entire Adansi area, all the way to the entire Amansia area. I see a friend saying Western region. As Uncle say she bought near the baby a Galamsey no, ebesi etiwa. And then Tiwa for be present. Declare state of emergency. What Tiwa for Nakatan him say? Muamunianoma Tiwa na Galamsey no. Muasuniano, more of Anoma, I think I move free etiwa. Or more cover China for any ban on Galamsey. We know. But I say, oh, fight Galamsey, near my president to be a pressure. We ourselves are the ones. yen crofo na na yen tie pese ende de yenya kokuduro na yen kanche enuanom charity begins at home. Let them all stop the Galamsey. Na yen fo ne embra MPP fo no me ho na me ka say jadem me ka say onim MPP fo no target, so they will declare, they will determine, they will vote and decide who leads them. No, President Mahama so I word make us oh you and our America. President Mahama will you and gidi just say what 7. Now only something that is also interesting because Primaries here also were MPP, maybe because we NDC more, but low key, down low key. I say don't get us thank you to. And I know and I for try video na kwan phone na wonam so abeba. We say get an gata kakra be fa no ko bon say eson chairman die, eson general secretary die, and eson presidential one kasa obetepa. Omo de amete don't get us that bi. Primaries so koso NDC mu ba campaign omo ye obi declare no. Because I be my Julius everybody president Mahama chia even you and her omo ko fa ne supporters be share no hotel I am more than for you and one. No mu di na chi no chia obra. He's already in presidential mode. Julius Zebra is already in presidential mode. Masa. E say do get so chia Julius Zebra te bra. Wo de ginchia. Enya sa suli ya na ye de ya ba omi ani bi be yo ginchia o UN. Me nam boot for boot. Rural areas, I am going to the ground. They say don't get so in rural areas or convince grassroots for no. Because they say it's not only about the money. And they could see practical check my say it shouldn't always be about the money. And it's for instance, some people before your own primary. So I don't even know why what happened in MPP. MPP party. I don't even understand you people. That the Bayer say the determination of the president should be based on Semina Muska. Agree with Kosi Pratt. Mo yes, first and when na mo amba ye so wosika wo de mo te wana na mo na be president mo be sha de na mo be sumba no be the president. You can't do foco about it. You cannot do foco about what is one is one. And the selection of presidential candidate, whether NDC or MPP, should not be about money. It should it should never be about money. And yeah, about money. Sabi nipa hunu bi abekọ ko peska no de aba be di Ghana president we are koton Ghana de agene coins and to NDC or MPP or delegates munya careful like I'm saying no MPP for there o ma declare say o ma bie a gate no and ankofa ko pick nomination forms na o mo ye adwuma but on NDC the end o mo bie we nti underground campaign na Julia Debra any ade but no Musafa Musa Dankwa research o ye no. It confirms the Dr. Domfe, University of Ghana. Right now, on the ground in NDC, is leading. He's a favorite. But all the back on general, that's different. Into not preliminary polls, all the one year World Cup, I must have made a mistake. And Musa Dankwadiano, Haruna Iddrisu, and LED. And I think rightfully so. Look, you're sharing this in one, the most qualified, even before I like Julius Zebra, mini paprekope any day, anytime. Me Julius Zebra from way back into Eastern region, before Eastern region chairman. I like him. He's my favorite. But I'm saying, if you are being plainly objective, the most experienced and the most qualified, Haruna Iddrisu. Kobusa Haruna Iddrisu ni nooks for shenanigans of University of Ghana, 1995, 1996. They were able to shut down the entire academic calendar. Not that I'm saying they are good, but this is somebody who has been fighting for ONIBA fighting for students. And Haruna Iddrisu on your profligate on shut down and one to be a shut down slow but sure. I think on the score of experience there, Haruna Iddrisu will be. But that is not to say I may compare Haruna Iddrisu to Etienne Nketiah because Etienne Nketiah he's classless. He's in the class of his own. Etienne Nketiah or this Mugabe on only class. And I'm reduced to climate no nti. Because how reduce is the most qualified. I say to get chanka. Because they say to get a category they do how reduce to cry. But again, they say to get experience. It's not in the presidency. Say to get any experience in the presidency. You see, and a banner say Obia 1 year long time a year grooming noir. And if you look at President Mahama, you know, there are there very Haruna Iddrisu to say, oh, you're not now. And you see from Baumia, northern region, from the northern sector, not northern region, exactly, no, northern sector. Mahama, northern sector. Oh, short analysis, not devoid of any tribal sentiment, no bigotry. But I'm just saying, it is very difficult that the voters will take the presidency back to the northern sector, because we've had two. For your fact about me and my Ekufuado or your vice president cry, he was part of the presidency, so it was still in the northern sector of Ghana. Mahama Swaba still in the northern sector of Ghana through Savannah. It is very unlikely, say 2028, never come back. What that's the thing that is working against Haruna Iddrisu. By Haruna Iddrisu is the most experienced. Outside they say don't get here. But Julia Bebraso has turned himself into a darling boy. He's turned himself into a darling boy straight up, and he's pushing. And to whoever NDC then a that person is coming to face the MPP for the Nebeba. And look at MPP. Yera a Kennedy Japan. Slow but sure. I think Kennedy Japan and sometimes when he looks back, Obeka say a shocking baby our babedu, because Kennedy Japan some cry. I think you can admit the fact that he's really come far. Wabwe Juma from his to Trump Subani B. Kennedy Japan kojo Trump. So a Trump version. All the way to the now refined EFS and Kennedy Japan. He's trying to comport himself on one who said presidency, and yet to Jaguni baby, he needs to exercise some kind of decorum. It's trigger, a cabronia trigger, any Kennedy Japan canenwa. Oh, and yet, my phone on Quebec, and come in a cran and Quebec. Because Quebec said they be on Kennedy Japan, can honorable no doom the mic. But any Kennedy Japan got around mine because of my idiot. Or 10 gram of Kennedy Japan to be body sometimes, or to me, fine on mine and got super controversy. No, a man of kind. Or that fire about Kennedy Japan control. No, ain't Kennedy Japan, Diana, I don't know, catch about me as a fine X. Because I can't penal. I think Kennedy Japan crash will not even tread on that line, because on no Kennedy Japan, I can't crave across the line. No? Because he performed so well in the last race, they say presidential race, super delegate, and Alan Crawford in Nasa Baby Ken side, they say. Alan Crawford in that Baumia, and in another no more, because it was perceived that Baumia is the establishment one candidate to Dominina Baby Ken side. Into no Kennedy Japan, he has an advantage, but Baumia still quite on the ground. And the general voting population, the Baumia still only Kennedy Japan, and Baumia is leading there. But you see, a trick Baumia, and say you need to win the delegation first before you come to the general voting population. And when I was a and the about working a crown so a Baumia, so they say because or no so. A Jumane Dada, and also because of MPP for we had there free SHS near the MPP delivered. But Kakrana to say finance ministry, economy, CD dollar exchange rate, Galamsey issues, and a few other issues, and in generally governance. Any MPP for Nankasa approval ratings are that will work against Baumia. And Baumia fault because Baumia wasn't the president, but a Kufuado approval ratings now work for Munintino. A better Baumia. And that is why Baumia is struggling. But so far, I think he has conducted his campaign well. And Baumia needs to double up because from the last super delegate results, Baumia was the leading person. And you are the one who also maintaining. As a title holder, you need to maintain. So there's more pressure on Baumia. And although Baumia is good, Baumia has done well. But Nanado, approval ratings and I'm buying Bialco second term approval rating bedrop America, UK, Ghana, the same. And if a Kufuado cranny can offer some no crime and economy issues no crime and can still MPP approval ratings and the Kufuado bedrop it. It's just the way that their politics here. Or second term beyond where you drop it. And it's and we don't have stay on Baumiano. And Baumia needs to do more. So far, I see that he's doing a lot. I can't a crabby. Nearma 1 or 2 be on the team, That's all for money in cohort. No, the team, Mr. Yaman, I made that mamma free consultancy. Mean, yes, I am saying, Emma, Mom, go homework. And he can, I can't cacra. Baumia can't cacra. And these are the two people. Makacham that I say, reduchum. On our bonum money by duchum, no. So when your presidency in the credit when you say running mate the need him because last one now about your favorite too, but because of Ashanti region vote tonight a kutano. Everything now we're targeting it. And it's anka almost between Napo any edutum no, they needed to make sure that at least the ebeko bia ho beka nti na also mu choose Napo and Napo so ni team no o man managing me I blame the team not Napo himself a team no na manage candidate team no na manage candidate say bi wa candidate ne beka won na be chance and can wait and I'm dey say about Napo chance right now Baumia onyo Ken nyo nobody can go back to Napo. I think at best what Napo can do they say omobema no friend saying omobema Napo chief of staff. So I think that be omobeba no Napo chief of staff and obenya, and I think that will really work well for Napo. And he's a very fine gentleman, but team now I'm managing ye and omako fasa problem number. And which there running mate no when yakra ni wom, and he probably will be on the top of the list. He will be on the top of the list. Educhum homework ni say onye popular across Ghana. He has to do his homework to be popular across Ghana. Before say, I don't know the team no person omo yes our homework now and say mama na fire na Baumia no by a wrong strategy. Because all fire Baumia ni nyina opponent was so chro to her. And one here and nipa be offend you probably cannot get back. It's a very wrong strategy. But he has to work on making himself appealable to the entire nation. And also appealable to the entire nation, not just MPP for, not just Ashanti region. Be Ashanti region the Okuta but you see Ashanti region no. And you do go na fans o Ken. That's what fans for Ashanti region. Ken. Brian Champon. Our fans for Ashanti region because call ni nyina so mo nananom ya Ashanti for. Peter Tasemba e wo shenanigan kakra move Brian Champon koye ho. But nanu say me hu ni video bi a o kan na no. And I thought Brian Champon brage kakra bra internal race it is susu brage internal race na moko susu brage one way now brage mane kotra so a na one way no akwa de ni se nka me ko Canada Japan because I saw this story from Canada Japan me ko Yero Abisi ubeba and obeka santi ebe ko no na Philip Ayabato kusu be join here very soon ti ene ono so ebe kasa Yero James su be join here from Educhum camp na ehun de ekoso wo ho but like I'm saying no President Mahama is in a comfortable lead. He's in a comfortable lead. Cry, I say, Juma Oye, no, I said, they be UN in and I'm waiting for his speech, first speech or UN, and then some of Becca, especially about Galamsey, because I mean, by now, UN for nothing, the all can so they would want answers on a. This is what a friend say, Canada Japan say, I will use the Asian miracle model to develop Ghana, Canada Japan, and I like this, but. This is not the time for messaging like this. This time you are speaking to delegates. And the delegates will address internal issues. Party no more yedidija. Party no more rewarded supporting and colano or from grassroots for to say NDC. Party for no more manages through ye. Party for there's lack of communication. Resources now cost for the money secret down ground. Those ones now are the delegates issues. I was Canada Japan addressing. So although I agree with the point where you're making, but when addressing those underlying party issues now, where are okay a national issue? In the end of the general voting population, you're interested in some of these issues. Say, hey, who bet me build a Ghana year, my dear, because that's what we all want to see. Say Ghana, echo beyond just where we are going. Because Ghana, they say, I say, campaign in another kasa kwa, ya kasa sa, what I say, ya kasa sa, I said, Uncle do baby, and we may have to change from there. Now for more strategic. I was trying to look for honorable Brian Champon video. Now I say on also say he's moving his people from the ideas and how say or a delivery of ideas. I think they know okay, but now me force a bit of bragging, but he's entitled to his bragging right. He's entitled to his bragging right because one ever turn into no clear there why was solving problem. Into our party delegates and say, but see, Mr. Brian Champon, the target, kind of crying channel, but the target by 2032. Oh, yeah, brought it. It was himself when they Canada Japan, Baumiano, and 2028 and far. And people for Nakasan in 2028 or Mutikika. I'm sure I'm fat. Because the echo, my solving more problem now 2028 and this is best to us. By this is so issue, and say because I am Mahama and Conti, and likely someone to bet me lose seat. And the before pushing a clear, they can take it. They can take it because Mahama and Kobe and results no crying this yano. It was largely based on the person Mahama, not necessarily NDC. The person Mahama. the person of Mahama, not necessarily NDC. NDC but the personality of Mahama, and more, and I go for a tomorrow. Let me show you the other brand champion cano.
Talk about ideas. Ideas.
I don't know.
The biggest hotel in Africa is my idea. The longest run airport, the airport with the longest runway in the world is my idea. I solved big problems that this country confronted. Ghost names. Removed over 50,000 people from the payroll through my software. That was my idea. All the companies that I run, functioning, employed, over 1,000 people around this environment, in this community, the growth pool that I've established here, those are ideas translated into action. Those who are competing with me, go to their communities and find out how their ideas have translated into action. But it's simple. Or, if you remember, 2 weeks ago, Kudakos Station, multimedia, they put out that government or Cocoa Board has received $4 billion in deposits. Did you see that? Do you know who caused it? Brian, you are looking at me. When I went to the Ministry of Agriculture, Cocoa Board, I supervised it, they told me that since 1947, we have always gone for syndication.
I make us a radio to me say, honorable Brage Kakra, the honor so bend there was no John and no bills a day form. It's autonomous. We have to verify some of those facts now claiming in, but I mean, there's no question about the fact that being a young, vibrant person or a big company, and hotel I me okay, without it will be any or hotel. I'm not sure I said the whole Africa that's the biggest hotel because I don't think so. So Morocco, no many idea. A Cairo, that is the bigger. But I mean, my boss been my former boss been okay. So one tongue will be anto. And I was tongue kakra, you know. So let's come back to a first MPP for primaries. So any other matters are rising. You better whether they will survive this period. And MPP primaries here, will the party itself survive? Because they are cause MPP money there. Philip Nana, I abatoku a first NDC communication team no empany for any be Western region. But no also a PhD student, you know, or solid. There are Charles Biso soon him say in Ghana, Juma presidential, you are here, Juma on the presidency, and Sana Galamsey more by and now he's the chief operations manager for Yera Kennedy Japan. So he also joined Yera Jemfin, so a campaign manager for Yera Duchumo, also be joining and yeah, the only back so that you can understand our position. But Mr. Tokumema, good evening, Akaba.
If you haven't just to say,
great. Great, fantastic. Mama buy one kobi and conform Aquashiano near the one Goshiano be no say. Conform the Chenku.
I just say, my invitation, but you know, my invitation, but my students, you know, I think a clash with my schedule. So I think you two delegates, Kushian, the Omunirano, I'm the boy.
Okay, now a PR Namoya and I say a genuine Nkoforo Mukoshiano, much adama what's a Ghana can back at a matter crowd, most of that talk crowd, Mukoshiano, woman people when it's most of down. And a genuine Nkofo almost
right now. NDC has become one of the most attractive political party in Africa, specifically in Ghana. What I say because you share how our for no etono dear leadership Jordan
and the internet how I don't know why
NDC ayakono
Mr. Togu internet how pa minim say
oh okay
America also internet to me yet is Ghana dey your mubunu to and then we did any interfere there because please come and clear the Wi-Fi. Oh okay I don't know why. Into bet me a position who ye, so I don't know why. Now I'm reading Kofoni be messages. I'm one Naomi, okay, my because Nkofo baby opinions and they want to share it. Because I then catch them say, Osha President Mama, good one the NDC forward. And I think that shows in the Nippon on Beshian or Hono. Joseph Prince Finn in Tino, good evening, Vim lady. Joseph, good evening. So Jalilu. Also, good evening. If you are my first person, I'm sure from Bamboy. I love that Bamboy Bolly. President Mahama Chrome Hono. When him say so la tuna kaba so de men crofo. Mi school for no ya munchi omo yo yiri. Aha, so angola am beto desk mo no. Akwa no dit ka no kwa member yo yiri ho abe face no. Ya mouse ka so koye desk ma nkola schools and trees no we dit ka no. The way I saw la hine ma ye ko che ne ba na so la hine de mi tu chairman any day anytime. Yao collage say government must make bold steps to fight the Galamsey. National issue. National issue bamono abai bi obe and Mahama ko say am to atiano. So atiase ha. I say the best way to do the Galamsey no to just shoot and kill patro no de emwa. Omo mukum nipa kra no law bi allow say sorry ya no akwa kokunu. In fact omo kra ya condemn omo kra no to death by hanging kra no yen sign president no person obe sign. Then I have to give me some more baby. I think it's okay here. Yeah, Baba Galamsey issue no so. But na me busa say mo e PR na mo ya na say na can say NDC aya akono.
Oh, na say na ma no egusu anu ikasa no. Sisi ano NDC abaye one of the attractive political party across Africa, specifically in Ghana. Nti nimpa na hu omo New York abonten so no say wa otia ade bia na ada ajimpo na say bi otumi aba ase obi say Omanakushia president, but enam and papa any no cry NDC edibu o man Ghana enti na ama obi anya epese sebi so what say the president His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ba amanone a obejana dwuma sebi obejana daje akushia no enti ne yembase obi a but how party na ya kono because before 2024 elections ensema John Dramani Mahama catch Ghana for you must say why ya na say onye o ka say obeti dollar so dollar koya could do 17 cedis na emu ye rom o kai no less than 100 days obey hotel so o ka say obama free SHS are stable you must say oye ya na say wanye o ka say sebi oba ono na ba mu no he is going to reduce government. You must say na oba ye ni ba dodo say na edibu omai nti I think say sa no manage share ne sa etimu pona sebi Ghana for ni gidi omunya ne mu no nti na ama ene obia tu mika o say okohwe John Dramani Mahama ne NDC because I think say minia minority leader abeya again one of the days afia me kan kra kire University of Cape Coast na usuro class obaka say NDC ni na usuro because na ehu bi wo mu because afede na obi afere and the low key ye nyina support NDC but you do nka but then the free soro ebete bayira ahumemu ama bayira makese de henfana then ma MPP abedu say and they say right now we hear Ghana for youth now mabunu titru join NDC because your intro no can be say an NDC they reward hard work we wanim na we ye dwuma na sebi ye nobody ana ye be qualifying kwande a oba be serve but MPP sa na betumi aka na ye wo ngofo ma ye dwuma de ama MPP papa but omo ba ba mu no ye musa say sebi then omo ye bo MPP for and as say omo ye ma ngofo no obinim kwa do musika e support ye omo ba abam ombegu omunuma nti sa no mani nyina na keka ho ma say bi o ma NDC ni MPP enzo so na abamu no ene say babunu biara e bia pese odwane NDC adentra ene na ene minority leader can otu mabunu no for NDC for no team for no otu omofo Tescom no otu omofo say no ya mane NDC abrande omhu ye enti no say bi o before say sign ko fa wo ye nti enti no me the way of free consultation am dem am no MPP for enti ye pay responsible opposition because ayanya responsible opposition na yetim ba ye de ye chia kra ye nyu bi obetenetene enti ye pese sebe ye bom mo futupa say bia na mo ba ba mu anase mo ye enu so mo 42 years ona de ye de nso agu ye de nso agu so e de kusu asiso time ansa na mo ba ba mu enti no free consultation
Mr. Bisi show so show de nani tu na hwe
oh Mr. Bisi anopa nyumre chia because me ni free Western region
yes Western region That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
One of the fantastic MPP near I think say I think it's also upon home but 42 years in the day. Because say a fine gentleman in a wrong party. Because MPP now sebi ye papa kofo Jake Lamtenum etiti you are osafuma for ntiti and MPP ni ana.
I didn't get that. Mr. Bisu MPP NDC man ka over sen ko be bigger than you.
Nanga sebre ngo o ye minister kese. Ye mo minister say when NDC mo. Nanga sebre kura ye bi ye deputy chief of staff because ye hwenyan say woni tirimu ene na ne ho to ho ache dwuma a wo ye na. What you say? Nti say right now no ye betuma say ye betuma je no ombra Oba Minia Western region and compare me they say Oba NDC. But I think say they are all fine gentlemen in the wrong political party. So say
the Western region agenda plan who pushing Western region agenda plan. What do you say about us one day 48? That's 48.
48 years. Yeah, this was so.
At the 6th account. To 46, no. First also 42. This is the 6th impeachment because 2 now the 6 years ago they change constitution. Tell them well but my brother Michobia now you do papa pay me be sent to Arab maybe. Nivina Ose ampa NDC one way akono Mijitum, but Mijitum before Yaboko elections 2024. Na yako around the Yaka Sembi de Nkanem MPP also. Yen ideology say kitan. No was papa, but Obodu baby na NDC why attractive. If I sit here and say that Onyano Korana Miza Kushi to Ghana for not today, Moko Make campaign and one Make campaign, some party na attractive the door, then I don't even have to go out there and campaign. Into some more country or but only before 2024, another 2025 year basic March, April. Because what everybody my manifesto be nice about mobile. Into the manifesto but no mun some never can on an crofo obeden obejatu. And the Ekasan Eka Galamsey asam. A church in papa. And me President Mahama says I know your mobile papa. Because in summer okay. Nana Akufo-Addo Bay okay, he's going to put his presidency on the line. Now, the figure of speech because our party Obama can't be hard on Obama no why then or solve problem. But now problem it cannot be solved within 4 years. In terms there, Google River Thames in Britain, it took about 25 years to get to where it is now. Okay. It said them yen and Cobra Nazi now. Politicians have no catch there 4 years and 80 years. Solve Galamsey problem now. No rezakushi. My dear in the Yazi Abazi and she said to her, I ain't na ye be disciplined na years ago. In time ya Galamsey no me juma me ye woman. On the Mrs. Todu baby no me to baby na what is kabeshe and I fought it Mama party for Kahun and this for Kahun. And I've said that this thing is on Galamsey not the cooking. Into our baba never politics. Na Ebanes Galamsey name no most of you're lying to Ghanaians. Into a bonde Akufo-Addo bed, there's no cane or your roadmap to her. Roadmap no yet to on them gold board no shimo ho baby, but one friend gold board. How your bed and
so I want to start gold board nehu. But the name wasn't gold board.
Yes, because they in that leakages room. But your corner for that, you go to your extra to car, scanner yet to Bokono, or repatriate back to Ghana. This can I cut some breach into both care, or do baby no suffer Africa there. Your gold worth walk out and it's about 5 billion.
On Japan.
That be on your Japan.
Okay.
Because in the time I am saying, I remember also gold proceeds no crowd, not just smuggling at all. Into all the gold board Nankaso Abadusishan. On almost smuggling sukum, but on yendu or ilma, amazing your day. You be save your environment in the first. And I'm saying that President Mahama no mobile to the extent that in some came on Yasa Mobotu Mezido. Into Bonda must pre 2024, NDC, was attractive because they said so many nice things. There's so many nice things being as it being practical now on oils. Because echo it and obwasi baby obiara to Galamsey nibi. How you want because hereby yet you promise your political party members anamoba odu baby no akufado be no there oma ban 2 years no na President Mahama na nimpe force that be on lift ban because on to me bibia say me just dan che wa time na about 2020 kweku buahin okay just say no anye my brother I mean also we to go. We were lying to the youth. And then when you honorable Kennedy upon your crackwetia, Yanamna offer you the youth fee why bear 30. I have the videos. Messenamo, the questions will be so. Obson then TCCan golden walk okay Galamsey, I know winner. Also 200 cities a day. 200 cities a day. 200 cities, 200 cities a day.
Okay.
In that cost 30 days, and that's about 6,000, right? But 10 days, we'll be all 5 days, 2 days, so I better. Into only share, we'll be all school dropout. But into Kennedy Chon there, Abiawaha, you have a lot of things around you. Cassava able to die. All I'm saying is that President Mahama know your mobile to the extent that in summer came last time it said the press in Orca tracking of Abaze or excavators. Excavators were imported by Ghana ha. You bones Orca construction sites. So you Juma wa himfa. Nina, it is in the roadmap. So I think that as Ghana moving forward, yes, me MPP, when we are campaigning, we need to campaign on that. But until it take 6 years. But I mean, within 4 years and not 5 years. But more than a muscle.
Okay, don't condemn opponents because, like your also
yes, because
I remember the video okay there. Ekufo declare state of the emergency, but now he's saying that not too fast. It to us also a last resort, my boy.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
But okay there or declare state of emergency. I disagree. My party for say be no so on state of emergency. Maybe a political be a pede when you change there. Why? But there's so many ways because let's not forget that the floating voter is discerning. The our catcher no state of emergency. A pedal then I catch okay, tat for tat. But when you do that, you're toying with the future of Ghana. What I'm saying is that President Mahama admit today, day because in some of John can tracking of excavators. In some more Akufado Trowo IMCI roadmap, he stated about 80% of them. But
Akufado ideas now Mahama is repeating.
Yes, because on your rocket side, and to make a idea be our baby for November. What we are doing, young Ghanaians, we are not disciplined. But so we need a disciplined society. About to Makafa, Obama, and now Ubiaba, you cannot solve the problem.
Okay.
But so I don't want us to politicize it. Let's make sure because Mr. America say, no, but I'm back at the Mahama, I read the day there. I consume, I'm papa and no, you're hunting. Into coastal belt, what to do a hole, and I'm over. Obakamu, you be a hole. Yet, yes, and then the Muridibi was contaminated by China, I would defeat Grassaban. It could be contaminated. So I would live in Accra and I can get cancer. But so I'm taking politics out of it.
Okay.
Let us not politicize it.
Okay, if you are taking politics out of it, in there, Mahama Kade, state of the emergency is not the exact solution. He's right. Per what you are saying, he's right.
So right? Talk back at the political talk. Yes. We'll lose Abaze confidence in politics. But that we say things to win power, and the things that we say to win power are not what we can do.
Okay. Yeah. NDC back out to admit that they erred when they said they should admit that they erred.
And some President Mahama came. Okay, excavators in some Manamoba. Akufo-Addo spent money in every excavator. We have to track about home. But
what they track about?
Yes.
Then what happened?
I Mr. Samuel resigning. And as Monsieur for Bayan and Zamana must be a human being. Anamoba. Malana Mr. Passide. Or no Obian Sakumo.
Okay.
I step aside I was even called to come back and do the job. Mr. Me give you. Because on your baby na said na me nyawo. But what I'm trying to say is that this tracking thing was done. Then people were trained at Takwa. 3, community mining project. What you saw? Boy, be open the community mining project. It was launched. Only the Danny yem paying for work where working a plane crash.
Oh yeah.
To ourselves. Because we've been a papa and mammy. All I know your curry brand as in our friend before for near politically. All I'm saying that we'll keep doing this. I want to be around the man as a nation.
Okay.
But if you don't pay here, you end up paying somewhere. So I am saying that let us not politicize it, because Galamsey, it is like just like cocaine. Only men people only men this. That's the only area where you want to be a watch whisker. No what to call.
And they've left the problem for Ghana. Nana to then another person can.
Mr. Fia, I think say a topic we own. Now see there many penny ebe yadwin. Nanka mpese ye political lens no.
Yeah, if you ban ye one politicizing it.
Me kasamba. Me free Western region. Wasa me free West. Asanki Gwana nempatem. Enti me kasa minim de make with regards to Galamsey. Enti other topic we ma no na ye me there because me share the effect of Galamsey elko yene ewo Western region and yene ewo forest area na. It's the fear a bro adwene ntiase so. You see now research be brama for yene say Galamsey on direct impact on Ghana ebini. It's the fear as at now 44 forest reserves in Ghana has been destroyed.
44 forest reserves.
Yes, has been yes. Number 2, 5,252 acres of land has been destroyed. What you say? And 2024 report on my year say and Ghana imported into $11,000 and I importing so at the free amount on the Ghana. Ni free Western region, meaning baby Galamsey or Samra boy Mumuni in the Tolumpai into minim Jamaica. And as at now, according to Cocoa Board, what you say, and the Cocoa Board lose 4.5 billion cedis. And because in Sasia ne Senka yede cocoa, yede ni sans asini na yetuni na Galamsey. And in say share the direct impact on Ghana a yasefin. Into made the nanka me percent ka ene edue nga ye nyina ye political lens near the tour. Now ye hwe no holistic approach. Say ye behwe a ye be nya asem na pomasible. Na menu ayi ka say almost say ye do amanfo so a na yaka ya no. Enti no say dia ye be ye say bi ye be di no kra kire omo mutie ye no. Ye hwe ba bia enfa ni free ya ya bedu. What you say? It's the fear between 1988 to 2016. Mining licenses are the man Ghana for so muntu akudi na 99. Na 100 o. Na 99. I
know yes, legal small scale mining. Galamsey legal.
Yes. Now from 2017 to 2025, licenses are Satana Nanado and Dr. Bahumia and Etiso. Licenses are Omdema Ghana for was 2,151 licenses.
Ghana for Nkwa.
Okay. And ma Ghana sebi Galamsey no.
Debbie. Star license ni na ye legal small scale mining. Galamsey. Because your money planning license, but I say the person is out of the category of Galamsey.
Oh, there be send here can there be maybe the point about maybe my member. So in the year 2022, then they see it. Abrana Nanado Danko Kufuado and then Dr. Baumia Omudi Ghana son. Satan ye LI. Ye passy ya demand for some but to me up a Juma forest name. It's the family boy.
I don't remember that one. Yes, so inside the forest and it's me to small scale mine. I don't remember that the LI said they should mine inside the reserve.
But
lines is nibi and ye dibi ma akonta mining. Chama mutu mi dan wa mimi krom Samra boy asenkregwa momuni tolumpan yerase a horn in the forest ma sebi nananom
me say clarify hono ya ma chama who to me lines is on mining inside the forest reserve and
yes, that is it.
Small scale mine. No, I have the letter here. Dr. Was it given inside the letter on yana chama who to me trespass here. Okay. Inside one but that are the all mining I wasn't inside the forest reserve.
So it's the fear.
It was later on no flag on this letter been by no from EPA.
The year person ya canini and it's a side time no 2017 mama Renfi nana do danko Akufo-Addo Eddie the presidency at two line so say sebi obekun etia Galamsey ama yeni binom NDC for ye bonabaso because yeni ane ye wo bebia na omutu Galamsey na enim the impact how mention na on then ye hu ye and between 2017 to 2018 is the fear satam na ye benya Operation Vanguard so kaya
I know some upon an no
nyamishraw and the same no between 2017 2018 2019 and masa you grew sa operation because now you be about 2020 me person me share me
Operation Vanguard nanga say gu ye it wasn't successful. Do you remember that?
Maybe and you know will be the presidency.
I remember him even lamenting to me. Let me go in interview no go complaining say and conform person conform interest near that was under President Mahama any atamos.
And you know, sa time na yenya president or then the presidency at line so then the same easy. What you say? You talk about 2020, we 2021, and almost signed the Operation Heart. Signed the buy. Sadly, phase 2. Amoka say afraid they are going to use intelligence with the military to fight Galamsey. What you say? The demand at 2023. Also for several ones in Ghana. A friend of Professor Frimpong Frimpong Boateng. Acquire report. Now, according to the Mukra, say, sound report and another 2 years. Until say Papa Nkotina GBC. Akoka say, and the Jubilee House, acquire the Center for Galamsey. A honor and Sebio, you invite Papano, or see idea, a becan say your chin. And to the person mechanic.
And to a point to say, another double standard and no declare fight against Galamsey, but no issue licenses.
That is it. Some mama history and mama data, but the Ukrainian woman so yes say it's the family Renfi because so say what the presidency atola and so now when you was also any I said on so and just or they nim the beboa baya I didn't on omi channel. What you say ye jina ye tigana hana NPP forecast say party yesika meboa almost party yesika I am telling you.
But was it in reference to Galamsey?
Yes, certain Galamsey hit no ejinamu. Yet Chromia and Asebio ye be who say 500 excavators ayera. I am telling you this. It's the fear and yes, be a ban politics, but you ever see a nyasam na puma sibulia.
Yeah, but address issue na yera bisu so ye most mobile Mokas okay, Nanado a failure, they are granted, and Nanado a failure. When declare so the fight with his president went to me and yet, and I gonna for from 2020, I gonna for Gasa channel, almost 2 tiano. Most that's why I was saying in my intro, so I said, Gana for us here in Atom. You want break like who can get a fight, but Nanado because declare set of a or the president better like or make effort here now, Mr. Uncle Charles King. He lost all the Galamsey areas. The mining areas.
Make us some intro until ye deba. Until a bit to honor by him. And NDC for whom say no, baby, and to panic on a cobone. Emma yin I casamum, but young who say 8 years in 8 months. A difference room. But don't do a money Mahama, excellency by him. When young cancel obey and obey Jumana so on ye. It's the Fiaman Casamintro. Obey and Azia on media for Asia, wild dress media, and has some more kind. Was say, almost to me, obey almost to me over 1,000 illegal miners. Yachuomo.
I have Mahama by AI.
I no masem. Obey or say over 1,000 illegal miners. Yachuomo. Only number one. Number two, this the fear. Was say, almost set up special courts. Omo yachuomo no. You be fast track almost 7 them. What you say? Yes, I'm telling you. The
information is there.
Yes, number 3. Osaka says, this is fear. He said, buying 440 excavators. Yes, easy. What you say? Osaka buy any BM no say now 300 chamfine machines here. They are mobile. You also have sense easy. But in 8 months in any 8 months a year, what I say, you need to be able to say, Sabi, Obetwine be brave. Me tell you, Amaka, say, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, he has nothing to lose. He said, "Dear, what can a legacy?"
Okay.
What I say, I can a legacy. I say, or cook or Jane, my sebi in Chima, because then right now, we hear no my apostle, with some chance, and I'll call Western Regional, and then Sebi, the health problem, and Kuala Sebi, and Mabuno move. Make crowd will and then Kuala Woman Sebi, if you are son or be anyone in your hugging. And the any metana may say politics, but you perceive him be a free a buyer be say.
Okay, what to uncle because they are okay in it is a deviation for President Mahama and Kataka in opposition campaign or say or back. Or my actual release you more. Into what banner watch more than 1,000 Galamsey for this is the point that Uncle Charles was making. Said the Amoka opposition near Bermuda, two contradicting also obey release you or my actual Mutuba. Why are you arresting? And Uncle Charles say you must be bold enough to admit that you campaign on this issue by Yankani. Because there are videos and I can show one of the videos.
And then I make up okay.
Philip, Mr. Toku, a Kokubo video. Oh, Yabama to only a gas and papa preference and Yamabusi. Say, Obiabe did it, Obiabe too. I'm saying that my mom catching for. So now when you come to find your arresting people, it's two different things.
Oh, there be make
it admitted and move on and make your argument.
Political justification.
Uncle Charles, let me pull the video for you. Uncle Charles, bring you now. I'll comment.
Yeah.
But your opinion and not to correct chairman.
Honey.
Okay. Into a pedogo papa Nimasi.
Oh, there be
in second 11 wise.
I'm 11 wise, yeah.
And all play a one. But that, obey bribe on offer that day on offer man of the match. Or what the whole park, go to pony man, no albo alpha. It wasn't the Taliban, no ball, not your agi bribe. Or treat the whole park, so no ash wise.
Okay.
Mary, anyone. And I'm start Makade. President Mahama, no mobile. Because of summer, okay. And you agreed to me at a point that we need to depoliticize it.
Yeah.
So the things that you are mentioning here, that President Mahama Bemo, where your trackers, where you then watching Crawford, special courts. So if you must send the roadmap now, bro, everything is in there, which was launched by Akufado. Factual, all guitar. So I am saying that means I mean, say, what's your Dodge bro? I'm airport. I mean, put that join that because I have facts. My son, man, what to be German? No, we read them, so you pay the apple shoot. Okay, say a Dodge bro, I'm airport. No point in your day. If President Mahama, them court some time watching Crawford under President Akufado. I remember Crawford Damien said we've prosecuted certain people. One hour, but cut more than when the watch one with Jawan. I shall one. Yeah. First one would deport him, not send by money, watching with jelly. It became nolly proscribed, Sabacare. Obicron could crab at nolly proscribed. Now you're talking about 2,000 concessions. Let me educate you on that. Yeah. Yeah, Ben, 1,350 mining licenses. Okay. Now, if you want to, yes,
250.
1,380.
That's the
I say,
what's the time, Ben?
In 2017, when the interministerial committee was formed.
2017.
Documents them down on BBI.
Okay, mommy here, mom.
So I'm saying that all these licenses were vetted. Moya na Galamsey according in there. One, the problem was bureaucracy. Because the Echo Minerals Commissioner, the law says, or that license, I think 30 days at the Minerals Commission, and then 90 days at the ministry. But no license wait to bear 5 years. Until you back on to moon trend. because obi one book or you know oko. Obi also had no way your license being not that I say basa. So we had to what audit the licenses. Yeah. Minerals Commission, I remember, brought data of about 3,000 concessions. Now, Sagana Fu, or 2,000 and something were given. Sagana Fu, because small scale mining is the preserve of Ghanaians. In terms, we have to be disciplined. Only security be in terms of roadmap, access to funding, but
was an issue, yeah.
China Fu, what bank or what? Say Chinese people woman $20,000 loan don't for me Galamsey illegal mine non-fiscal in the roadmap we wrote about access to funding. You be prospecting, geological survey near the gold and sun and all that was documented. All I'm saying is that the President Mahama Ben also the then why it must make the ana why the man nature the man or but more cases and there I wonder as a MPP and but since I also know what to about now
would you admit that once MPP 1 year because like you say, maybe he's exaggerating a few things, but there's record to show that one time you gave out a lot of licenses, and them licenses more gray area no woman there. I'm tell you more gray woman there. What they don't do exactly according to the license.
It's a fair. That is it.
Come on, an example. The license it was prospecting. He ended up entering into a reserve and do actual mining. So would you admit that also 1 year? You didn't fight Galamsey the way you said you will fight it.
My question, me ya no fair. First of all, the MPPA we made mistakes. So that's a mistake somewhere. And then as I hear the audience, the people, the citizenry in is discipline. On America, they say discipline or that discipline so you can't blame President Mahama.
But that's why you have power to discipline the people.
No, remember. So on never okay, I don't work for Nanko and him be the other one patrol and into Murbo, patrol. Into that discipline wasn't there. So I'm saying that your time no yepi obodu baby mpochata. Now, as we too many licenses, saying devially, not devially. Obi qualify no have the PBA na issue license then you can drink driver na so I am applying that to baby I could one more license okay yeah za only doyen brother how watch na so anamoba. So when you do that and you issue a legal license to the person, what's a hammer call? There's something called a 3.2 AE where you will go to natural. In our time, no, your BB you BB your friend peer review a bond and cobra not so. And I'll tell you the trick. There were drones that were being used. And there, I wonder what a certain radius we did closer to any water body. Since to be your problem. Join your bet your license. So
then I didn't know fairly bodu baby and then soon night today. What happened?
And Nas Busia for bear and as I'm support. Problem and Nas.
Anas in Tina went to fight Galamsey. Was Anas in charge of the Galamsey fight? And I only said that things are going on behind closed doors.
No, some other year, people Ghanaians lost trust in what was happening. And in the same way, we lose trust in football because we're doing a good job at Asa. Now we tried to bribe, what's excavation. He said, no, we go.
No, you were doing a good job when I think you were doing a good job beginning now. President declared that he is willing to sacrifice his seat. Until then time now, it wasn't like that again.
Up to 2019, not then. Please, no, check it.
No, I think that would be 2017, 2018, and today you are away. But after that, no say cry. So, will you admit that there were errors? MPP could have done better, and you didn't deliver.
I can't say, Mama, me ya no be ati trotro sana on to the but your next time, so be say the massive. Ebisam, me feel February 2019. But I left the scene.
Fine, but as a government, MPP government, would you admit that you failed to deliver within the 8 years?
Mr. Azanoy continues. So I'm saying that
yes, but maybe you left off as MPP government. So would you admit that you failed? You failed to deliver more. What can you do for us?
I still make a choice. It is continuous.
But at the point, what doing? At the point free power, no, would you say that you had done 100% or maybe 60% of a pass mark, and it was below 50%? Would you admit that?
Okay, into 50% as against what? In 2012 to 20, now you know about percentage. So when you give me percentage, then I go with it. So I mean, will be some question there soon. Those times will be some soon percentage. I know that missing many empirical evidence you are the compare.
Okay,
but what I'm to put things in place for the future. On the middle list now, bro. So where yes, people were 5,000 people were trained. On into we issue license for responsible mining. However, so what more licenses? Now connect but on them kind of one driver's license, a qualified call driving test. There you will be very never drink driver. On any issue license in the white one. I would into what two courts, no what's much to ask one. And then when you was to create jobs. Okay, be also 500 excavators from Pomboat in K. I never more concern me because Professor from Pomboat
just go in. So just go in. Yeah.
Mobile South Toba and number. What's the book on and more day tonight? 2 or 2 true. She said, Montaka should go for child now, but Professor from Pomboat, all kind of 500 excavators. Later, Nala Bay or admitted on your 500. Okay, it was 297.
Okay.
That report to not train. I was privy to that report.
Okay.
That there was 297 in it. I was a secretary then. No way them reported. So because train not as a kawa. And a damn report no, it won't be sent the ministers in no kawana. It's as I hear me pede integrity because me catch you there. Say me tell me that about to obi baby. I'll pay one way or the other. So I want us to deal with the matter. But President Mahama is what I can. The roadmap is there. Let's check and then some not can. But you need them roadmap, So sometimes we say things, and I am pleading with him, President Mahama, there. I don't legacy will not call because on baby pay the constitution. In time, may ruthless. I'll deal with the matter and go. However, but no Mahama bigger better because or Pedomba, no political party will win more. So I don't. Yeah, now I'm the President Mahama, Miss Bala, I'm baby to me.
But Mr. Mawa starting there, you are cautioning him that he started on the wrong foot.
Wrong foot then. So I bet listen, Zaman or Akufa in Zaman, Anamoa. And
the state of the emergency is not the solution now.
So every problem state of emergency. To what end? What does I tell? You're going to audit licenses. You're going to check the concessions or whampa. When you do that, one way to go now, so I'll catch you there. In the same vein, yes, I think another middle class for the super I then member as a number. In the same vein, gold boards was worrying. So you are in a dicey situation. All I'm saying is that it calls for us coordination, supervision, and the disciplined citizenry, and that political will must be there. In America, the Mahama on baby, constitutional man can on stand the beam. In time, and
all
out.
Okay. Sister Fia, let me add up. You see,
oh, Debbie. Just a quick one. Because from the Uncle Charles, can I get a more? Mama fairly that. Because one report they've even brought pictures of NDCMP.
Debbie, before Kasa. Omo Kasa to say
what?
Yesterday
in our MP before Kasa.
Philip to one time.
In our government, set time at Galamsey some no ben. I availed myself investigated mobile. In the same vein, also what bay some of a band in number they I mean. Attorney General's why I refer whether it is true. These things are in the right direction, as I say. But so what was in the man? No, I mean what is not
they should make it public.
No, also okay. Or Attorney General became as I say.
Okay.
I mean, what is not Yanukuru, but and this was, hey, why Galamsey, oh, no, Yanukar. Point I'm trying to make is that, oh, yet there, abandon for a power, the one awards waiting to Williambra, because Galamsey, no, Yanny Pakro, no, you. So I saw for Yippee. politicians here, bankers here. Obia, what also? Mr. Honu, political party behind you. Church of Pentecost in your Christ Apostolic in your when you what was no be for the chapel.
Yo.
Awesome.
Obege to say mo amunkofo ni bisu ye bi o say mo amunkofo ya boy ya mi mudi ni ade say okunim.
From the onset of program we know, yeah, say yeah, politics. By do baby, mini chas, mini opinion, wakasa fine. But I na muru if say mufra bemuno, and 7 years, just 8 months. Just 8 months. But unima, a dear back one MPP who are a yako no pan American say on paper, they look so fantastic. Paper, that is MPP for you. But young ground or implementation are poor. Because they are working. You see, our reporter, Yaka, and in Sua essay, any Ghana's yellow scan, meaning about 2024. Saturday, na MPP now are being. Yenya Nanado, a moko general simpioso. Kofoludia, Tamania Casa, a contamine nature mount to me, or Hona Nanado, a cray, chamount to me. Saturday, no more petition, because now president said, the regional chairman and Galamsey, I didn't have to me. But the American an sister fear. Who can see be a yamade? Say, President, no only a binding bit to me a boy. Team M4 Yanya Yakin, a young boy. What I say, because right now, say you're discipline, because no man say, well, some years ago in Japan, that is 1945, and a atomic bomb a 2 over 80 years in asset now. Effect no war. Baby Ghana Elko Sisia and Sister Fia say young can of crunch a one. Yes, set atomic bomb in Chimao. Ye be walk or your man number.
And after one amotiako, Tina maybe so bad me to say one more time because fourth estate. I mean, I think that they've been very consistent. They said one time because they almost say NDC, where this one is 5 days ago. They've exposed how a group of NDC, National Democratic Action Support, Congress supporters forcefully took over a licensed mine at Christian Univali. There's another story. I want to NDC chairman engaged in Galamsey. Mom call for a admitted says 8 months. No, it's not even an excuse. I'm about 8 months.
Oh yeah,
say on declare state of the emergency. Mumu to me maybe within this 8 months. Because one would have thought that the situation was so bad in 2024. Can you move in declare? You haven't done it. Most mobile manage and still insure any basa. So that's what people want you to admit. That is why they said the only demonstration cost and running in demonstration. The indication of anti-Galamsey demonstration led by Oliver Voma or NDC, but he said, look, now Mahama must work. We do admit a more fairly 8 months.
But this is a failure meaning to me because many political justification. The air can is a mature a paper. A bind by why? Okay. And I mean, Catcher say, though, and so every Yana do, but it's too early say a better general. And you bet me Cananado assemble because it was 8 years.
Okay. After
4 years now, and this year, a saying to me, answer over there, no honey, the night yet be a cana yeka. But right now, or paper and attorney general, Yania, your party executives, 7 million kind. Eddie Omudin by I said they are under investigation. In the end, Omo investigation or court in the intimate can be. What you say, Ohone yet say, a man way, I have ready so be fight Galamsey. On a mamma ye say, and right now, Nanado, down Kokufuado, a pencil, you be young for no moon who say, broad daylight, Omo ye Galamsey, but Nanado Creomo. By young right now, no, the pesa ye can in your say, is the fear, young for pepper, as on mine. Me see that brother kind. As of now, because right now,
moment to me, I can't bo more NDC MPP. Is it possible somebody to me I can't bo more?
If that is the case, now you bet me I can't bo my sister fear. Young come me met any MPP NDC because when I make a me from and few was as in the garden in patem was a coupon in patem and my son and fin in patem meaning the air also and as I say and then is the fear. 1 month ago I was in Ghana.
Okay, that's why I then.
I started Casa. Mano, Casa the most.
Mr. Togu, Obi was some fantastic question. Be mom said, all these licenses near I don't know mobile among JJ. If more before the man go wrongfully, I come back.
It's the fear. I didn't say you can say a political liar a better time. Until America say right now, Minuana kind, Menen Bayadi. What you say, I didn't see a national issue. Memetranka MPP NDC, and I say, oh, NDC executive, Nasa Sebi, Open Ghana year. Support tonight, young fighting Galamsey. We MPP executive, now Ghana year. 1 AM fighting Galamsey. What you say, because baby, a Ekaka or man a sign, because and on education. Me teacher in Mapana Mamatana. And you share Galana performance on BEC. Baby, you took Galamsey, it's a fear a coffin. You come and
Galamsey no effective in education.
I'm telling you, and you know, Mama Yama to say MPP, NDC, Abakani, can try because it should be back with an action. Then you bet me, Timem for Mama can be.
You took the ball is in your court. Monamako Baintia Kunyasu for the next 4 years.
And make us say it's too early because the next 1 year.
Galamsey need to me affect education so bad. This is why I mean forever and ever I'll support free SHS. I'll support free SHS.
Yes.
Because if you go to the Galamsey areas, the rural areas, you can do a crowd there, and do. And Obi and Tia, a cross and Obi and a cotia. A cross and and for here I didn't feel no representing Dr. Duchum, so we will bring him on board to talk about education.
Before, but we read the BB chalk. There, roadmap numbers on 5.8. Monitoring the purchase and exportation of gold on the gold board. This was done.
Okay.
Also, gold purchasing and exportation to be strictly monitored by the government through relevant agencies in order to increase revenue. Purchase and exportation should be the preserve of only Ghanaians. The exported source of purchase to be linked to small-scale mining operators only. But I'm reading in Apple. Also, a committee made up of the Minerals Commission, EPA, PMMC, small-scale miners, Bank of Ghana, Customs, and GRA must be constituted to provide a detailed gold export framework. But on your new gold board, you see, this is why I'm saying that all these things were put down by Akufo-Addo. If you have a Boshe or your friend and excavator, no, so no, what can one some Mohadi? Us then, but your reading no so respectfully, no one. And I say, but your no so us the Prophet Mahama also pre-lifting it. Also the list of all approved and prohibited equipment for artisanal and small-scale mining to be clearly defined by Minerals Commission. Ori and Obasan also all earth-moving equipment shall be registered by DVLE. All mining companies shall strictly comply with vehicle road readiness and regulation. No earth-moving equipment shall be used.
But the excavators went missing. And NDT time is still the excavators are going missing. And I be one got a thing.
Quite a bit. I still American.
So I don't know that excavators. If it's a monster between NDC and MPP, you people don't have the strategy to catch the excavators.
NDC excavators.
Hey, NDC excavators are here. Tokupa. And I be what I'm wanting.
Mam Castle. Sefia, Mammy, this is a question. Them excavators know what you would. Aso. Ghana you krupo umbra forward number the excavator you. No, I kept saying that and Google what I said.
So the excavators were not missing.
But why to look at the 500 and Abasam no.
There be hotel.
Mr. 500 behind you, and then Minister Tremi kind of 297. That was in the custody of
82.
No, remember, them excavators, Nala no Kana, to honor no do be said. Them excavators, what teaching and or aviation or in. You know what happened? Ghana, no, you're Ghana for you, or your foreigners. Ghana, you get the license now. Not the license that come on Chinese. Not Chinese, you are them. Woman machine, but Chinese in them. But the
excavators were missing.
That is it.
The excavators were missing.
No, I mean the minimum the excavated. I wasn't there, but make quite
just admit it. Let's do with national issue.
Please. As I'm making more evidence, because say what came one no crane nyancho obechichu no akade iya fedi. So Mr. Professor Football match or police anamoba BNI friend emiso mokroho report what the man what came to out of
in the Uncle Charles report came that there was no missing excavators. None of the excavators went missing.
Report, but Professor Football match na law 500 no. He came out to say that 500 and it was not true.
Fine, granted on your 500, but yeah. I'm saying, I'm asking that, was there no excavator that went missing?
And Mr. Minim that 297 means on the 297 over. That's all I know. When I left there, Minim the assembly if you're February, okay, kind of 500 I own. I mean, radio piece of them say I do not know of any excavator that has gone missing.
May I move on? Because it looks like between NDC and MPP, we will never find the excavator because Philip, let's not politicize in there. The hospital. If you're talking about current, as a father for the only until the one to Obama Kufadun party na happen. Yeah, are you with me? Only until what's a brother pay. So what are you doing about it? MPP. I come up and I'm going to sooner say na day number lament so that my political party will benefit. No, I'm not.
I feel
I probably do two sides of you want no problem. I'll just show our foot in the our bright future. I now ye. Mam coming in Porto. As some American there. Point in what I'm trying to say is that when one party not odu baby ne ya sodo. What when we come and tell Ghanaians that any day we do and no then we bring ideas out and that competition is what Ghanaians will weigh. Not when we come say that I remember never be the same thing. That is why people are losing confidence in politicians.
Granted. Would your government continue, baby Uncle Charles, that you continue from, even if you won't admit that you did politics with it, but will you continue there? It's not about the state of the emergency, but will you continue?
I think say baby Charles the last point is fantastic. The reason why 1.7 million people at Obama NDC near say omunya wishemu NDC mu and John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency. And for now, we have no excuse to fail Ghanaians. That's the truth. What you say, and America say, Meti America, ni asasiyan tame daha obiantu ni Galamsey. And the memetna of the case we so in theater. And they are going forward now. Ghana afford a paper esheyemu. And the right now, any excuse to sabi fail. But the na me company say, na mpese me hu ba bia ye free ya bedu. And they say ano menimi nan ba ya adwena ye koye nim no. Ye demand no ama John Dramani Mahama ne NDC government. Entina Ghana for nyina 1.7 million eto abediti a MPP or abemu. And they say right now going forward no the Minister Charles kana policies now on the papa woman yisham yebefa.
Okay.
That dirty politics and say because almost say assume you ekwa asase and ebre because them be America say MPP ni NDC no are all political parties and ye nyina yensi yetirase e wo fele mu ye ba say ye fight Galamsey. I will tell you the truth because the kra woman here say ye ba na be no MPP NDC ni e ko na obi akọ no be na channel asambishia intima na e ha because kwaya na eda ho no na nanom a reserve my ye yenso say yenso reserve de my intima my ye kwa what you say intina things going forward no the make ni nyina say asema Minister Charles e kan no I think say papa no wom no some people before na implementing na papa ye beto aso case close.
Okay. And he said the menu about my rasta side don't call canon. Galamsey is getting worse even under NDC.
Yeah.
And he say best solve a problem now. Wa can say importance you.
Yeah.
Now what you cry there obenye sika ato bottled water. But what you crash and obon say. And a bear kakra no wabusu for now for sen come no they will start calling you for scabra and phantoms you.
Sister, unim say even Accra and Kufo Galam Nana 1 city, 3 cities.
You anyone.
Yes, a report. And you
know, because yeah, me papa mu krom one side that dance a man say oh nyina say banche. Any other problem. Kontomre na anka chance ke kontomre ko say who dey taste classes whole messed up. A serious situation here dealing with no. Nti mo dey mo tena na mo dey politics a ye na ye ho betre ye Ghana
for once
ama me mo video we tell na wo kata Galamsey bi anira and excavated bi anira and NDC bi so anira and NDC.
Me pacho Samren na mini lobe ena me frefre na esi o watch me ade echi na aka 7 ehona tie ehonom na mini prosini no commander ne kokontokwa no enti wo dia 7 na nyan ne dia machi akosio
40 excavators na ochi ya na wunya low bed no ade e be chi onya low bed o ko e free 40 abana be ka 7
yes sir
33 etimi afiri nwura mu
yes enti this
enti no anabiso no I say a friend say ade no ajegon nti that was just the point of order see the politics aya na yekuye man no you know your man benya sa cancer na chemicals no dey mom no yanko MPP for race him yanko MPP for race him yera anke chance e will Canada Japan camp to come person will train because it is you NDC you should be interested in who MPP is bringing. It looks like NDC for what oyemfa kenemra aden na mo opposition asem we interested in obi party ni po de ne beba minim NDC for so NDC for so some person don't get I don't even know. But so far what is going on in the presidential campaign or super delegates campaign so far about no record.
Okay, madase so far China Kennedy or in Japan or converting China 11 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Yes, since I submitted, I started now proper. And I can be there was it and this first swap here Kennedy Japan. Floating voters no was swap here. And now and this for Nanka Sabino so. I mean only yes one was president the Botuama by MPs the Botuama and NDC because they are brand of political. Yes, what's the personally on there? First, no politics and look at the MPP near Woody, NDC so was but since I been here. People have lost interest in political parties. So now it calls for personalities. Them personalities only Canadian Japan. Because what they're looking for, economic and some bodo na projection in trade na kade. We are and also that be na IMF and World Bank into anye dabi. As an IMF and World Bank in you are now. We are looking for more practical approach. Obia why business that. Are you honest? Why call MP for 24 years? Me need there, it's no some there. I can't be born or parliament that. Them experience no Ghana and their laws no parliament no pass the laws. Now, your executive were implementing, but you are Obandama parliament no supervise laws na the major money because a woman executive. I couldn't see why you 24 years not pass it. And an answer to grassroots politics no why papa. And there can say. And they also go to the Asian miracle. Now, your dog catch delegates, Pocho, and they call UPSC. The youth, for no friend, why you want the chief of staff, but Tom, no, President Mahama took into a more Kennedy Noye, the main speaker. So he was talking to the youth about entrepreneurship, leadership, and all that. No catch up.
Okay. So it was in context, okay.
The audience, no, but saying that, no, I dare came with the delegates now, so we've been a student. And to say, welfare as a student, we as a delegate, another party officer. We are not say we school another be then so Abba Juman as a party person and as a Ghanaian. Into the message, you know, occur both sides. The mass of North Council delegate or catch a delegate because delegates also far not a campaign. Because delegates, you know, at that work to about penny delegates. Where Juma is a party officer to go and canvass for votes for the party. That's party officers 555 they will Juma. Now, baby to see Kennedy na in yepede as no call. And the same thing that you share politics no man. There were none to match or more was so Ninoism. And then so because was Kennedy in the Genesi because why there say a sebo. A comes a number no aqua is waka piece, but about or the brohona, no original ways, no, why muja. Now, what's one way cook one? Let me send it into us. Obiana some at the Kennedy near Nanaba, while Aquamonda, also party fear, Nagana some. The bone wicked John Waka, non wing some. Then you pour your damn no man no. Oh, yes, not Kennedy, no, there be a no bono. Nums Adam, presidential candidate, but never can want the master. I say, Dabu, Obiano few ball and no accost, I know they book niffy. Now, Bianifia clean. No, niffy bon, no Kennedy, no one. But on them, no sooner than young couple in the umbra number. Indeed, mean that Bribia a leader we down there. I think GRA alone employs about 9,000 people, and your revenue of your I stand to be corrected. That's a new okra parliament on your government made you mother, but we to my employee over 7,000. It doesn't mean that Oba Obobo Ejuma Mobia. It is the leadership, that political will. Are they in there what resources pure ha? You go to years I as some crocker the miss the day as a net why stagnant because the economy is choked. How are we expanding it? Even though most my international law, meaning trade law, meaning them some maybe some question I say Sisian, our western region at one a debiara could be what also I as well can also why would you condo to na debia out or not was it could be with the defenseman who was able to come Nigeria. And you know, Nigeria, but what could be in KO. On your factory, Nigeria, they so much for you, Jumato. At one, I can't tell
okay, no, he's marketing his broader vision, even beyond the primaries. That's what he's selling.
Exactly. Okay, students, as some crockers, I say, Mabape, or you know, Western region. Also, economics, will be also proximity to natural resources. It's about of energy, Boko. Or the Ministry of Energy, Western regional. Related agencies connected to energy when you are not Western regional. Obanama tourism will boost or buy a jumo or be behind that Ombaboko so it lifts the economy. Also a Greek was also northern region because Echo Burkina Faso also they be annually not cargo plane Abafoko. You want Tamale airports or vast land order or your friend Tamale. Some the Ministry of Agriculture, no related agencies score Tamale Subupwe. By doing so, you're expanding the economy and then you're creating jobs for the youth. Waka tourism. So all these things are things that we just there. It's a leadership near this one. You go to the not the private sector, which is the engine of growth in Webway, or be able to widen the business. Because Echo Bank can you loan in that. For the time, no one was a loan was chasing and anamobwa.
Yeah.
The interest rate lower. So when you do this and you're exporting more, what balance of trade over then or favorable? Mobile. Sitting a dollar na debia yes in the gold border. Crawford swag gold you want to quit. Yeah, rely on gold and continue. But you can rely on other products. You finish goods.
So, Akacha, do you think that the no, I know Kennedy Japan the best candidates out of the other people who are contesting? Because I think Koti Pratt said that only they are then based on money. They always no. I think Ken even hasn't spoken about always. I think so far it's been about that. I mean, I'm making me create jobs. And I think about the youth, and I want to multiply that job creation machinery. Them not pedo here there. Why you be what them? I mean, many factories now there. He will find the cost on other water. I know what he has done in Tema, but I think that beyond that, should we limit the management of our money because this is a country. This is not a factory. This is not coastal. This is a whole country. In the country, nation being sema. Should it be determined by the one way creating jobs, Anna? Should it just be because we're creating 5,000 jobs in a whole nation of 30, almost 35 million people? Just because we're creating jobs 5,000. Do you think that's a fair criteria? Only Canada, Japan, I'm qualified because we create jobs, Anna.
But that's it. But one I know what Benny na Obi Abaz no Biayo, Obi was a lawyer. The lawyer on your long continue to Manana. Obi Suba was a communication expert. Communication, no, Obi Suba was no, yeah. From Kwame Nkrumah brother, apart from Kwame Nkrumah, or industrialization. But on the list can be working with man, and I'm about the population about 6 to 7 million. Now, industrialization. Jerry Rollins Ben obey about the structural adjustment program. Emmanuel Kodo where diversity implementation and factories in we got diversify any ready market for the no. Then we started again 1D1 if you kakra. But all I'm saying is that say nipa no obiara or baby no fi baby norba. And actually this man no why yes situation. Mr. Season be an leader. For him to be in parliament for 24 years, but why chairman of communications committee in Anamobile, security local government. Into after the main when you government here for 24 years. Parliament is one arm of government. There are three arms of government. If he has excelled in one arm of government for 24 years, I believe that saying ba na baby or pass laws not ben will supervise as no kobu to my ear. That all your business side on your parliament or your business no. Nalan business acumen not to boom to us semi laws na your passing. In the laws you pass, but business but the bar motu may use them brand number the practical approaches I added. In Kafuna be one your business but what about the theory say book or your parents hey son and name there I am if you back what
okay
for trust and you are simple economics what's the proximity to natural resources and mobile by the oil for western region as a office one grand why that Greek no or tamale nurse or tamale you know or Bejiniska umbra and umbra potatoes Volta regional. So all these things are things that on your day ofi baby we business. Not no your book and you don't couple over to the president. I mean for that's but oh yeah, why internet the master.
Okay. I like that point, but before I'm talking I want to ask you Baomia why one candidate on no do when you our friend in 2024. So
yeah.
Baomia or homo Educhum no you one minister on also have raised him Brian Champo no you minister Greek have raised him also. And I see that the Brian Champo is target to Canada Japan because a lot of the youth because of Canada Japan no nonsense brand a lot of the youth love Canada Japan to the extent that before 2024 elections a lot of them were saying Canada Japan on pair up when he lost the super delegation was on pair up with Cheddar. No one they should form a new party and they will vote for him. And I see Brian Champo going after them youth for now support Canada Japan more. No? He's penetrating into them support base now Wokuten. And then he talk about the other people who have also joined the race. But so far, if you look at these big names, Educhum, Brian Champon, Baomia, what do you think are your chances? So far, all the regions, 16 regions,
That be say you north. You best start to north. Yeah, western north, Bono east, I have Fudogina,
okay.
You better penetrate north. But Pocho, as America there, your friend then, Dr. Brian Champion, or for you go to be any evidence to that. Pocho, I know maybe
you don't have evidence to that, or
evidence to that.
Okay.
Open market.
Okay.
Na year con. Me mobi also me na more Kennedy nti me move to Brian. Another na more Kennedy nti my then. Yeah, the intro photos. Obi by intro photo. But you see, Kennedy no vote. Let me explain to you. Kennedy on the word but was obi or her. Dr. Baumia de no was of north nti or then not next to Abaman Moboa. Obi so say Brian Champion of Eastern region. The man obi so Dr. Baumia said there's a man opportunity. Na wazuma President Mahama Ghana phone to man north na biom obi so say Brian office region CC na Akufo-Addo office region crying to I
think I've heard that too. Yeah.
Kennedy's vote Kennedy only stronghold
that's
Kennedy's,
interesting.
Listen, or a character vote I most strategy but memo we go deep character vote in the sense obi for on door kanokar obi to them then obi ndo a businessman but atasa nti ni na moto abobọ 10 attributes of Kennedy ni na pick votes for but atasa nti them na ade na akaye other candidates in pocho mrebe ya bukwari ya mebete ma mbadam baka obi anasam meze na mrebe ma be dem abakam because we win wi a ndo obaba baka ye ma ya yejuman won nyina wo ba be fro na obe fe Kennedy so for we na me ne nkasa for we na ebona don't know my why is am to pocho anyo tanam dugu mu bend ma badam de bako bi na
very well I did my member, Mr. Jeffy, me back also now, also do to Dr. Iddrisu, Dr. Jeffy Jabo, or also a Dr. A friend saying Educhum. And Dr. Educhum, this from last week, this week, who punchlines, and also they punch about me and other people. Talking better with you so that you also come in as an outsider and give me your perspective from the NDC. Why more preference for some people? Is it because for somebody to make defeat those people easily? And I said, but no, okay, job, Mama, good evening, Akwaba.
Good evening, Afia.
I'm not relaxing. Say about
I feel the ultimate Afia.
Metonka, light no way, chin ever high kakra banya.
Okay,
Udum no so I have a problem to the managing is o candidate Dr. Iddrisu so far what all the 16 regions.
Yes, Afia. Doctor, I said Iddrisu 16 regions in the on call Nina. So him say party name Kwenya say you best start a vigorous campaign, but our network our regional coordinators and constituency coordinators, grassroots coordinators, Omunyana are ready. In fact, Omajichi train Doctor ya said Iddrisu say obebanu abedi MPP anim.
More candidate Dr. Iddrisu any on the outside so your former education minister. Then Osha candidates now can no more so much Tom Hodada or no dear Bakono Yehuno Kakrabi and a mother to obey not to say. We knew him more than call your favorite for running mate. After the presidency in Ankatan Oko going against on one former vice president. What do you think makes him stand out? Niambra punchlines now last week or the punchy Baomi, and I don't know where that one came from, but then a man or dance on Nipana can and them.
You, if you are any kind of made in Chabe, I know what TF4, and of course, Minia Penny Charles BC, and Philip Ayaba to go, or Munia Minia Penny for. In fact, Dr. Yao said with me, Ubibeka say Onimna a Ministry of Education, and I say Bibiatisa, and then so Dr. Yao said with him there. In fact, what turn on not turn our turn on or a global person, any Juma Sonkwa would dear war US Mimo BB school Acacia. In fact, Nancy a woman a congressional award, and which I say US for Genatum say, in fact, the Jumo Bedi American as well. Oba Ghana's were Nyans, why I see the Jawa near the Aswa, or by in the Iowa Ghana, and so Ghana and Juma Obeya has STEM education, TVET education, free SHS in your more and Yagro. Now a party ni mapam. In fact, or starting in politics and yene Obi or because a doctor I said which you in fact or buy MPP Munche and Yano cray. Doctor I said which you may start MPP and said you movie crowd or any and we 1992 pain so and a doctor I said which you in fact who did those days MPP cranny on a UP near day. And so no working anywhere Ogusua or ye Juma, in fact, or pray ma democratic rule etimi by and okopia America, okopia on so no or koye chapter chairman or California. Dimo or the by vice chairman or California or Bagana. Into why Juma be brave or MPP, Mjoni nipa or ye new person or political hemisphere no crime. To because I in fact if you see a sini who na Juma or de Bagana and in fact as strong as when you and so catcher. Yeah,
the American will be any so a ban education, they are about to make a sampa or your authority in education. But beyond that, no, meaning say other regions and me intro to make about the and what it's our influence in other areas and your education.
If you are now sure, we are some crowd, Bibia, no, it's always so developing nation, Bia, and I say anything you want to do, it starts with education. The bane of any transformation starts with education. It's any panic Ghana for the delegates, Ginny Tooms, or no, the mastery of education. And that even suggests candidates, everybody, dear anymore, or dear continuum. But I no pen on him, dear, or me, we send a mudding como or Galamsey economy near Dinina. In fact, Dr. Yao said Chumusha or KNUST or a land economy. Now land economy, in fact, idea be onim Galamsey mapa, because when it comes to land acquisition, land degradation, issues of environment near there. Okosua bi okay KNUST, your core and suni PhD no, and ye be na ye education and kwa until obia in fact nim the a cover be brain. Now her policy say dear go akwema. Bebre kra nya say chenchina education free SHS or there but policies in agricultural economy how be see a bit develop economy ni wom when it comes to tourism ni nyina e bi wom but to say a dollar issues a what country no ma doctor ya said whichum ogina mu pa ntu hwa nipa 5 airby ni nyina ono kra no ne policies ni nim de or other areas no in fact kwa nim pa nti obi ka say education kwa na in fact any nipa no me ne nya adwene.
Okay. Okay. Mama Musa answer mama Uncle Charles Bisi Wabem. This issue about say Dr. Duchuma attack Baomiano. Why is it a new strategy? Mo amuyene una campaign manager. A new strategy say on attack Baomia na say no one can say this issue say if you want to apologize apologize for your economic mess. Go straight to the point and stop beating about the bush. This is Dr. Duchum. Did he really say that? Is it deliberate, intentional to attack Baomiase or Nubenya national appeal? And now say, what was the strategy behind that way? Hello, Doc. Or Doc, you know, at the continuation the number because this issue, a lot of even NDC promoting Chenkra have complained about it. No.
If you mean na only me
now when you need to call it, so now me busa. It's what is the strategy about this seeming attack on Baumia? And attack. What happened?
Oh, and yet attack. O share a campaign ye run near fear. Me yeah, Dr. Jemfia Jabo, many campaign manager. In fact, your campaign ye say ye be attack you bia. We are doing an issue-based campaign. O study one who's be anywhere wako can be sa asema by no. In fact, not Dr. Yao said which will be any the Brandon. The brand no ye on pen ho asem ne ho enkika wa be any Dr. Yao said which ho or you be or you're very disciplined and or you're focused. But idea by in fact a bar media mukakra no is taking a point how we see a feel a belief who say MPP nyina be see I share the whole thing no and a man for a blown out of proportion kakra because so sure ye de adwuma ni eja obia and ye say dance nti ne eche din and ono no kire say education in fact ye de share ne san otimi ye and it no hu ne say there shouldn't be any apology coming from education. Obi su bebema ka said there be apology ne ebebem as I said but for the whole party no and for the whole government machinery because ye adwuma under the government. And then oka say yentimi nkono wholesale because baby wo ho in fact antos nisa and the free SHS efia I know na ekura Ghana sisia ukọ baby bebra TVET education in fact ya shemu kena amana ye kama mia baby ana mehwe so esen law Center for National Distance Learning and the ICT in education Ghana akoba bia and then collection idea online etimi issue etimi the first TV station Ghana and collection idea your friend send loss channel MOE me a doctor ya said twuma me lead by one student one tablet and to share education yeah nyoma be brain no doctor nature say doctor ya said twum say wholesale apology beba yemma Ghanaians who say baby o ho ya to sini ba baby o ho so aye boy ho modern na so yesrem baby to sini no monfanche baby to say education ni ade de in fact ye boy ho no mu say aha de o mu page o mu na nko wholesale enkoka say we apologize to say de ya nye bibia kra eno na ono ne position no a say campaign nso ne yeta na chi was our position no yeah
but I think manya afena mate context no they can say nye bibia na failure no buy but Uncle Charles who Canada Japan team mu who now you're director of operations I chopper no more associating mo with the chopper and I'm also want to say Dr. Duchum dey be mo nya bibia what's mo patch obia
oh honorable Kennedy ono no onya ben my MP but we care there thank you tone he's said it over and over that obejina MPP na name no wa Ghana for nyina to na party for chom was all one was worry shame day baby biam 2 obi wa ha na anche or expect the juma bi no better no what we juma obi za kama obi another world turn the juma another he made it, and then Nancy will start to turn oko baby also obejina MPP na name no I then wa pacho as a founding member of the party so there in now a collective but my brother Dr. Morgan who so many again because say can then pacho ne ni na the failure then it means that free SHS near the ben mfa so amba ho ewia can the demand not today ye be agenda 111 hospitals and ebia 10 po ya you so you have to specify them as that you gave us a mandate ye ka de be nzama ebia 100 but we're able to achieve 40. The reason I ain't to achieve it on in the Ghana because I had the man say you're connect your elections in 2028 Ghana for be saying and that's all I bet that's I obey then yeah so I agree we need to be specific on certain issues, and those issues too we must also state why we're not able to, because yeah manifesto manifesto no on the execution crofo they one shadow to Abama no shadow to be. I believe that in 2020 about the leadership of service, which was the 2020 manifesto by 2024, and I remember that, or your continuous AIA because 2012 year manifesto in changing Ahibia, 2016 in changing Ahibia. So I keep saying that yeah, our manifesto develops Ghana. Now, say ye na yaba, mudu baby not could drop on my information is I remember he listed about 200 something of our projects are Zama call manifesto my yaya. Then fast for 2025, Abakada. Not the manifesto or they are torching. I disagree.
Okay. Then I see that at least the two of you are kind of on the but between one word, the two of you, your candidates, no. Kennedy Japan on the Professor Dr. Iddrisu. I don't. Do you think that you'll be able to defeat NDC? Because I wonder the tradition in Ghana is obi about otuminya 8 years. And once you people are going at it with each other, NDC so they are solidifying their governance. See, the end with Julius Zebra on one side, he's marking time around President Mahama. I said, don't get up with the start to put it. Thank you, talk. I don't know, Doc. My mission is so who said Dr. Iddrisu bet me FAC Iddrisu, FAC said don't get ya or Julius Zebra or Haruna Iddrisu or whoever NDC brings. Move to me.
Yo, if your question in fact, a very good question. Na medical aka say MPP nipa 5 standing in no obia betimi abiti NDC nipa obo mu den nyina obia na me gina homa Dr. Yawose Iddrisu nti no ma meka se Dr. Yawose Iddrisu de in fact se odi omumu bia ba ye NDC for na ono kra de in fact ebebro so esan say Ghana for agi Dr. Yawose Iddrisu na dwuma pa atum. In fact, yesi ebi show enuma ena otu bia ebene. Papa no ebi de ehye nanum no edoso. In fact, enyoma waye wo Ghana first in history aban bia baso a odwane party for kra edwene ho efa adwene say so omo be kipu any minister be in opposition as I said Dr. Yawose Iddrisu omo kipu no ma otoa so e Ministry of Education ebi sida. In fact, omo dwene ho say as a so omo keep no Ministry of Education.
Yes, NDC for should work with him.
Omo anya agrokra NDC for ameni omo hia ne omo di nkomo. Nipa bebre ekra aka say Dr. Yawose Iddrisu adwuma obedi en anya agrokra. And na Ghana for nyina floating voters and na MPP for kra no omo gitum say one of the best ministers in Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo. And I said the best minister, Dr. Yawose Iddrisu. Papa, wouldn't the in fact, yet ye benya bru 50 na emeke bikra. And until ye become 52-54% ye benya. The policies are all there ban enya grokra. I mean, him so be bet me we need one torture. Na ye Dr. Yawose Iddrisu. 90 years you are boy home. 31st January dear, a year yan ye be winning, and no de nim. And until ye new beer ye campaign na yen casent you beer. And because you say after every competition, there is collaboration or cooperation. We need to cooperate with Honorable Ken. Dr. Ya or Dr. Baumia, Brian Champon, and a Miami paying Kwabne Japan. We need to bring them together. As I see, did you matter my new Munya attacks? How do we bring them after 31st January, which or no be win, you know? And paying for the count myself, I tap and not TV, Pekakran, so crat was me pay. A comata, and not just a cacram one. It's yet the and only at the num. It will shy and consent you because Papaning himself 31st January, only be near, obetimi agi to me ama MPP. Emre bi yakoba bi nipa hu na almost papa ide ni suni ne ban nyina te se president Ajekum Kofo ababium. Enti so hwemu a doctor ya was said twum de in fact ono na ebe wini na Ghana for so ebegina tum.
Ade one te se nkofo ka se do twum de ase oye matra makoy em say vice president ope na nya akonwa na nkasa. People also say that say enru no so onru hokra na bi su ka say oni national appeal. But they say that Baumia Ken, because Ken say why did they he's also been in parliament for over 20 years. Or was a national appeal, who do not now Busana, Obi him say Obi the Ken. But boss only national appeal, no, and running mate at best, running mate now Napona Komo Preno. And on what is because people also say one day or woman just to secure running mate position. Yes, president or you know.
Efia the Ghana for and nipa ni bi beka no. In fact, media mente the metia ne say mo candidate Dr. Ya said between the in fact ono ne yepe obia say Dr. Ya said between but so what ya mean dispute that aspect no. But Efia the American ne say status quo na oba da beni adena. I think say it's about time when we need to look beyond that and go move past that because the MPP be edru ne di obetimi agi to me amaye no ene ne ehwehwe ena abrebia ne leader yehia no sa abra ye wo mi ho me PhD me in leadership sa time ya ye wo mu ne de leader yehia no eye Dr. Yaw Osei Edutwum because say baby ayedru no Ghana hia total transformation ena ono ene betimi de sa leadership skills na aba minim barometer na say any measurement nipa omokasa no mu use so ni national appeal but out of the 5 now we are talking about in the obusami a Dr. Ya said it nationalistic appeal more than any other contestants and you know minim baby omofafri ana key variables omo consort here but based on any research any data no any just any kind of researcher is based on analysis and data ya collect no Ghanaians issue said Dr. Ya said chumba ono na omo ebe jinatum we say nipa ni bebre ho a omo ya omo research omo use convenience method of sampling yeni sa purposive random sampling nipa no gro omo nim no na so results ne beba na che so omo nyina Dr. Ya said twum e no mo penti obi aka sa e de ebe si ni hu e no mamu so oba be pet running mate e ne zen ko betina ho atwen na se de obi wini bi oba be fa no because already no or sa appeal ne dada by a testy around near check here on the bit me agi to me about so because if you there be me grand come in join ye chairman upon bio obusa ne 3 times open ba wo ba no o kwa asi o don say ko to abrewa aduanim na obedi nso asi o say look me since you man sana maham ade ne me ko me na me konso asi yebusa nipa eguye campa nipa eguye ho no etitire eguye ho no ontimi ntwe obi ansensi form enti Dr. Ya said twum me can ne as the campaign manager say o must be pray for vice president and ke nyina yin na chi okọ na okwasi no be wi ni January 2031 no am ye the MPP nyina abom ye hia unifier ono na betimi unify unism na ba and into na yeba yeah
okay mama na say but obo di bi sesi a because tokuna ka me ba ho ba obo opon bio
yes
Mr. Opon bio Canada Japan nia opon bio na dan for but say ni any business partner no
chema opon bio ayenim na Ghana here ayenim very business agriculture or na chairman or campaign na me campaign manager yeah nipa enya go titiri wo
what about Iddrisu uncle opon bio me minimum opon bio oya Canada Japan I think super care chronic Canada Japan only super care okay
breaking news
because I want to say Canada Japan business partner no I do to camp as chairman of his campaign Oh, yeah, that upon Miss Opombio or a Duchum camp.
We believe accept the match.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, one woman, Tamatamana, one woman, medium, and I'm telling you, to Maria.
How about
Or to Maria, I'll come to 12. Mr. Opombio or Educhum ne camp. Where if you go camp, or Educhum ne camp.
And if you ever front door, when we are going to back door, a pedam discuss Dr. Duchum campaign. No,
I think I see it as an indictment to be Kakra. One is Canada Japan's long-time business partner, his friend. He's almost like his brother. Why is he in Educhum's camp? Okay, and the chairman of his campaign, why is he not with Canada Japan?
Oh no, they be sir, Dr. Educhum. No, I mean, chairman upon bill. But my point in a set, one hour work on in answer. Senapu, Linia Pani, Oye, Kennedy, Anamobwa, Quabraja, into Oye party cruise, no matter the Anamobwa. I'm not here to discuss Obi Nasam. Atasa, messing there.
But after that, upon Bioko, Educhum ne camp party. Are you aware of that?
There for two room, kitchen doors.
No, but I'm surprised because I know the relationship between Mr. Opombio and Onye Kennedy Japan. Is where I Bosian on you Benina and Kameka and a girlfriend in Poa.
Not saying Dr. Mr. A Moba.
Wana, Mr. Opombio.
Yeah.
And
so I did Britain. I interview for now. I was some back.
Oh, I'll do that. But I'm saying that the Canada Japan team are aware there. Canada Japan, ne bad partner, ne business bad partner is in another person's camp. Why is he not in Canada Japan's camp? I know your preference, Keke.
No, why? No, I know what I no choice. Into why no they bisa. Oh yeah, upon you for charter. I remember headline.
But is that not an indictment on Canada Japan there?
Dr. Kasi, also a party crew near Mba Moba. You go to my boom, if you are, go to my bay, to my portata, sir. Portata, sir. So why no on Dr. Chairman Opombio, portata, sir. And then we did the onion so Casa, BBI fine.
And you see, them company, no, can on you, Mr. Opombio, and the company. I know it's one of the many companies that the two of them have, but I know Supercare. Is the company still there? Are they still working in the company?
But you remember, legally, man, one can't back our company as some. It's to me a pebble now, what make it court. Oh, why they have them? But my brother cast some more came. What's there? Ebia in 5 year calling and be able to we beat NDC in Biobaba. Honestly, Minji, you don't know, Castle, nobody, Dr. Boy, not there. But time year to it calls for a certain leadership. And that leadership time they are seizing their or Bible man. Okay, it is not Obia qualified, but Obia when the time of peak.
Okay,
that's Obia when the time of peak. Until Bonda Dr. Bichum fantastic. So Kata, Bibia Elma Michena. But at that time, no, I don't ban. No, do another time ended an nature. It's not, it doesn't mean that he's not qualified. I mean, the Kennedy Nassam number became. I've spoken about the character vote, being a philanthropist, Elma Michena. And the Yerko, as I Yokoyaken, said Julius, Debra, no, you know, say, I see a Dunketian was in a bow. I mean, that Kennedy get a national healing. The same vein, education side, sir. Dr. Bichum school. Ya free SHS na Mawaye, Ghana, as in Nina. But going out there, as one and Obotum crossover. So that my McCain, and this is today. Obotum, no, I then, or to Presidential Nama Kennedy. No mum, or your parliamentary, about 2 hours, you pull him no constituent. That is why I'm saying that it calls for a personality. But people are not happy with political parties now because you do not yet one right remember MPP, NDC, TPP is on with you later. But now it's personality to come out to actually do for something I call a political revolution. That's calibrate the political system. youth with faith for you.
Okay.
And that person Kennedy. Because old baby, about baby, about not was the Tamale teaching hospital. No, here plant to be. No, I can't on an amoba. I come for noche. About also oncology department today. No, I can't say mobile. 37, about $3 million, $6 million heart or Simon. So he's done it all over. Mopotatas, me parliament, or parliamentary until once upon 24 years. No, Ghana had a near one. Yan more from a Duoku Paywall. Asia, Anamoba.
I'm the Libya, another.
You know, okra phone, and you see, name as no our sympathy. But honorism, a compassionate one. Oba, as aggression, say, attack could be not about, or the buffon of the bubble. Indeed, a woman on Tassido obese sobi. No sooner saying. Indeed, that them you pano, say, you know, coin this in MPPR. Me just then this Funangas with Madame your crab, like Manotti. Say, your crop, or yeah, aquatia. Honor more ponent this Funapo woman which he needs him. When you born commander out there, and uncle brother, out there, Chomuko, you knew any problem. I saw a catch on the mom for one son compia because Otum Rebbe. So at this point in time, it's the person who can actually negotiate well and then ensure that party MPP, but you clean it up. My youth also ideology when you're dizzy.
Okay, I wanted to ask you about them Ebufune because that's also one of the things that they say about him. But
a positive aggression.
Oh, but I don't go for the black then now come on yet.
Edanu papa bi won o se Kennedy no media to abama na kuma no so anya na kuma no anti we modu bebe we do because some no can at the time no wa okay yes we did ko won some no baka o but the time no baka on your no ko no ya ka che obi onya ne de until later aba na we pandam not okadam e the vigilante iya we ye yerko ablekume so okada dem Delta Force mo good but NDC one war happen no wasn't we maintain but when he said that in 27 Tobias they also that be yanka the woman no but we boys so when ba party when ba power so let's maintain
okay but Akotia has vindicated Ken
na Blekuma atasa one kwatwe chise kan bo ojira ho a won so bo nde yenso ye ojipa but 2017 ken o okasa dodo na sam na oka wo ho a on end why the nyamisa work for professor it doesn't make sense and God manifests himself outside the good Yankopon.
Okay. And I don't come I say I don't know more NDC we interested in say Ken and Emra and I win Emra. I don't know business.
I said I connect.
If Mama Fasa Abunya
so. I said Uncle Charles was connected so many be na achemono.
Oh, Dabi, if you answer, Mamma Butrena, Mura Semuye, Mamanchia, Dr. Jimfi, Dr. Michao. Anga a Sabio and Painfobu, a baby say, and my beer, Numunam in the Takra, Mamum Takra, Bonum, dear, Frenam Catrapa. With the Santa can ask him, and again this before they will second before Nanya, but see them in all kind. You per se, Yenya responsible opposition. Say, Beya, ye chair on good to me at me. Now, then buy because me 2 MPP 4 and advice I to their momo pani say about this time go suspended all this fragile reason. Now go form uncle Yejuma. Advice I to their mom because as at now, if you yes say me catch say open political party any corner or Africa, Titlu Ghana MPP. Then a man
yes, that's not extreme exaggeration.
Oh, there is sanity.
Africa.
Yes, sanity. Any akono MPP kan. Mama nchechire mu nchiro. She say NDC dey tie baby o. You see a strong opposition. Now among these 5 individuals, omo wo mo second. If you say what they aba, you see an omo fa ba ko a, you the 10 cents of honorable Ken Japan. Offer Dr. Bawumia, your 10 cents of Dr. Bawumia. So offer Dr. Dutuma on Papa no ben wasem na the rep wahan. Omo nya nya wasem 10 atoma yeni NDC for atoma Ghana for. Mama mo bo subi nchire we.
No, Monday no me read here across list.
No, the mama mo bo subi nchire we. Say bia for the benefit of ATA4. Dr. 10 cents of Dr. Bawumia e bi ne say almost say it is alleged. So on kind of correct. Say no Google or no atro na class.
And there more NDC for na mo planting side
it is
one na mo planting here wo and me fanya issue one na mo planting.
Oh, make it cancel match now. Make
one na mo planting we any issue. And said the 2016 NDC for so MPP for so planting doom so as a word uko Google say one na mo planting.
It American in Ghana say and one no mo sekai trauma Ghana for. Intino Number 5 ayabo mu gina no ayabo mu din no omu nyina fantastic people, no two ways about that. But the ebese omu ye ne se na gomo ye bottom down approach nka by this time no gomo hyase enkwase enko pacho anhwe grassroots me asema ye kan nyina no honorable Ken Japan or your favorite, honorable Editum or your favorite because me teacher ni why education minister da ye wura ba or your favorite. You Bana Champon or your favorite. But the say, this is not the time for Sebio contest. This is a time I sang on to me a ginaso and as a common wabum, a CC party, no my party nabaya condo, party abaye a conoma youth. Osha say, okay, me say, Sebi, may catch us on authority. Say, Omofa, I will be no pair, Dr. Baunia, Kenne Japan, you are Dutuma. Any day because as at now we are talking about policies. On say me no say on paper MPP attractive like kasa de but say mo kan say nye adwuma na obohu se bi otro kan what you say hwe ba bi de Ghana ekoye de Ghana koye ama Ghana sign the 500 years. I am telling you this.
Hey,
yes.
500 years.
Oh, yeah, man.
Based on what evidence?
More evidence. I made people here say yet a man 2016 year free NDC year free by $1 I say 382 pesos. 2024 I'm free by $1 kwa could 17 cities. Yet a man you better Ghana na a com at the mabuna me do be a 77 na 101 it be a 100. So in format in I say obi di no pa awiane anyino ni bibiem. What you say yet your mamu ma sebe Galamsey de yanko so biem yet mamu ma no mu be yedin yet your mamu ma sebe education in the history of Ghana 2 years na me teacher na me child wo class afia 2 years na any textbooks. Take it for me. What you say enti dia me pese make kan nyina na say Ghana for so enso as once na emom no mo hundemu but me two MPP efo say be say yenya productive opposition na omo suspend the way kakra na omo kofom na omo go sie party no omo ne Ghana for nkasa na omo pa Ghana for achew.
Okay,
what you say because you were edutun kan sembi ono so be so chere no say sebe over in the educational sector me bon ho modern but economy you be tell baby say oh what a solid team, a management team, economic team you can bluff but na a form no enye.
Okay,
it is baby you doing na say
it also MPP for whoever they bring omo de omo ina pobom against the say dun kete omo to me
Debbie
say Julius Ebraso
Debbie I am
bet me biti ba omi a
fat in it 1.7 million vote if you tie ni ye when yet say bia you try no more show working and rather on make you say the 4 years here John Dramani Mahama his excellency one and so the year juma because make you say 42 years ya tonzo oguso de kusuasi so and we must 4 years account 46 years MPP my power. I'm telling you this until say on be the need for what the young mama say kwasem bi
very well
because and the current crop of leadership they no more me about we some to the fair me kind of culture ofi de kese we so to the fair fenji me bia nima honorable Ken Japan be wini trust me but any fair because say ane anza na be fa forms so be you no manya wi na 4 million Ghana cedis 40 billion na sabi obason Ghana because of
na mo party say mo so mo nje for sa mo de mo nje
what they say na on say o kan wasem no o kan exist sika or politics mu e say you free mu Sikana politics, I'm telling you, and yes, I think
What can you be born at the next guy of politics? Since 92,
no, say I make a choice, political equalization. But right now, going forward, if you see, they are we fantastic journalists, but some you say you're quite Sikano and
okay, very well.
Because and yes, right now, Dr. Dutum, why minister, the sector or a fantastic. They be a sabio, Sikana on yes, he came to Abbey, to be a every time and get to Abama.
But that's why I'm for baby. I then ask a more entity from Canada, Japan. Is it that more kind of reality on the ground? And I said, one moon himself, Canada, Japan, ba more betting me beating. And I'm only Canada, Japan connection be or one. I'm only I be.
If you have a mega center, Yana Cranka, dear Pepaya, Dr. Baunia.
Okay.
Yana dear, because only the Sabi, any day be a babono, and my toilet is so cross Sabio, Manusis Brown, so babono, because Sabi, you bet to me the 10 cents and wide SEO, Obia and then all shifty blame. Obia will not be vice president, I feel say, and another grand work for the year on the one yibi. Obia or catch the Ghana say, Sabi, Oba Ghana. Akrabia Benya bank accounts in the first 180 days. Ewa hefa. Obi Ojina Ghana simply also can say omo yetu abamana one district, one dam, one factory, one business, and ewa hefa. Obi Ojina simply also catch the Ghana for say yetu abama MPP for they are going to arrest the city and give the keys to the IGP. And they will see say. Okay. And the anybody ya percent and got Baumia His Excellency in Kaoba. But go here see the Ghana for air Kasano. Now here see the reality next year. Honorable Kennedy Japan. Sabi, a count. Fantastic.
Round, no, okay.
And now, why a grassroots man? I am telling you this. What is why a grassroots man? But the American say, Abanomo to the Fenchen. Entino, Enti, Anyado Berini.
Okay.
But then say, and I'm report to be said, going forward, no to the baby after cross on their politics.
I
okay. They are all, but the American Union say you pay strong opposition. And to say you bet to make 2 years MPP 4. Now it's on Gombet here, how many emotions and don't change. Now the any NDC for Kanamunti say, how many Asia for Ngokasa? How many Asia for Ghana for? Because I never go on another way. I'm not a prophet. My menka Simbi Yami, a mammy, and Chirofia. Nyame catch them, me say Ghana for to me and MPP to my economy ma. I said His Excellency Nanado a pagan for in actual. Let me say.
When you talk about me, I pay. What do you want again?
When you're political apacho.
Okay.
Very
well. Now move free power, no move free power 2016 move a patch.
Oh, that be
part of confirm 2 years no.
Oh,
when you have a patch.
Yes, I have been in
don't patch out for free SHS Anna.
Oh, that be free SHS was a fantastic policy.
The other no patch out. I buy the one about the policy be perfect Anna.
Me too. But if you share the MPP na kono bi. Some patch out the na kono bi.
Okay, you
because you share the how many Ghana
I David Tarubo to Canada or use visa na for ma time ka kan say. Bound the visa no best file.
Mama say na argument Uncle Charles ma bo but Dr. Ejabo o say ade na nye fair na be fair crank on Canada Japan but momo kra mo ko join Canada Japan crash so mo ba NDC for no Julius Zebra or Haruna say nu keto mbe bomo. How do you take that uniform mo as munu anamo na compete very keenly since 1992 multi-party democracy? How do you take the okay?
Yo, I'm saying Philip Ayaba Okasano Toku also a teacher ni. A teacher ni the no nim Juma Soa Doctor Yao said Duchum Ebeye. Teacher ni the Ohunioma Dr. Duchum any policies or the buy. In fact, Mokasa I'm say earlier and the Galamsey. And in the end, some but me person me train a fiane or your TFO in Adrian say Galamsey crown policies at Dr. Yao said Duchum Ewa or dear Guaquem nor the bar Galamsey ever fix Galamsey easily or Ghana has. In fact, a new education kwana or one home nim dear, and also no or strategy the back cut pipeline to Galamsey. and all her Galamsey baby air corny and I'm ranty will be I know I started or Smikwaku 2 now see CBB to say prosperity centers across all the districts in the country. Now memoir and youth ninya and yumaya in fact and ubet me abwa. And I simplify license and name normal policies be a dear guhona. But the Minia cannot see a cat Kennedy Japan any doctor I was said which ebuma. Meaning say yenwene ho and a Kennedy for enwene ho say omumi no beka boom but the all can in fact menene nya adwene. Doctor I was said which kwa ho oden no ye ka asiedun ketia honorable ne ye ka ato forsen ene Julius Debra nyina akra boma omuntimi Dr. Dutwum esan se Ghana fo hu nioma waye ene nioma obetimi aye midika kan yesi esuma obanyansafo yensuma anomontenten papa na adwuma wabeye na ne de woni tirima opeso ye no Ghana fo ebeto na omubegina tum NDC de in fact me amehwe NDC in fact 24-hour economy and in Yoma be bro mukain eya trodie and omudi Ghana for. In fact, the only thing NDC ebetimi aka se omaye within 9 months na a dollar ya no kra no matimi and say the growth of the dollar no compared to the growth that were MPP time no so more time in fact dollar no baby e corner serious because you see I started a galopo kakra aside that no dear babium and NDC betimi aka se omaye enu tini minim se 2028 the NDC bedi nkugo kwan bia so mbelusu Ghana fo nyina ebompa se MPP beka omo abom na aye akono very united na party na aye akono ama obi bia timi abejoine na omo contest ni nyina de obetimi de sa unism na ba efia Dr. Yaw Oseye Dutwum. See this comment ya buy ya was taking in position. Say be or no dear on sticky apology. What to say a campaign or be any camp be atem. What to say any of our communicators. Now me mobile officer, your offices be East Legon, Uko Kumasi, Uko Kaswa, Uko Central, Western, all over we have offices there. And I go there, communicators say, oh, you know, mini omushia. Obi anyhow beka say tibia. And then honorable Kennedy home. Ultimate when it comes to Dr. Mahmoud Baumi, ultimate Casentiano, and Utini, I'm making sure so Bian Casentio Bia. So comment pet no bibet me a Casabia. Doctor, I was said to Chumeka and Amagana for us. And Utinu Unism, what party in Bia. O Bian him said Dr. Duchum Nedeba. Last week, I'm your office and I'll be friend or Senti. I dear Cosunina. Who say o boss Dr. Yaw said between the betimi de unism aba party the one and or church me almost see na apostle let's just say Dr. Yaw said between na obia etwen ukọ busumtwe ukọ central region ukọ Ashanti region ukọ Volta all the regions obia ekase Dr. Yaw said between and ne ho akono a obetimi de unism aba MPP mo ama ya wini entie de ya ni obia ni nkeka we na ukọ Dr. Baumia Camp, Oko Brian Champ, Oko Honorable Kennedy, Oko Miami Nia Kwabne Japan Campa. Ubia Bekacho said Dr. Yaw said which campaign on Maran no is the most decent campaigner Ghana has ever witnessed, and the night after democratic rule, no, and no NIA the best campaign. Obi any how bit me attack you be. Now me communicator be a attack you be a me throw then we'll put you on suspension and I won't cassette there be because a party back. I didn't know cassette you be because we are going against the tenets and the principles and the values of MPP. And only yenesa, it hadn't a cassette be. And it in social mass see any dear and one corner or this unity a pepper party name no be him said Dr. Yaw said Duchum. They drew on so and the vice obeying it dear, ye bedroom, ye perceive viansa, and ya joint to Toku and Kennedy and Moya Diumsia na yan who Kennedy so and who say on the end but Dr. Duchum and the baby needed first general.
I see. Well, Uncle Charles, more say. Because what he's saying is that no, even what they can impose Bampa, they will win against you people because you don't have money policy. Yeah.
Tokwa.
Toku no okay. I'll say this if now you're ready for you. But no matter who you bring, you will not win.
Wake Masembi, yeah, GC na a simultaneous equation. na menyanko bi ochocho bia na wi anu aye cumulative frequency flag newa no no copy obi to wi okay see graph ni trase on the orchestra no say there we better do 42 years the calculator 4 year term no 10 and a half terms into one equation when wrong but that's into one so equation wrong o graph ni na
Wrong.
was 90. Thank you. Into some can into do be do. But that's
But checking the Japan need persona and the record that he has set from time about parliament now they like politics in general. Now offense is said Dunketia, Anna Julius Debra, Anna our friend then Haruna Iddrisu. Will he survive?
it's you see now political dispensation, it's not the political party anymore. I keep saying that because MPP no NDC no Ghana for ewa NDC be wa be west the dollar doctor can artificial into I start to gallop.
Yeah.
Galamsey.
World Bank I want a government on it.
Thank you. Galamsey. Into Mr. President Mahama I am yo man asasa Pedoja legacy in your states man or Ghana. Galamsey some okay on the documents now abroad. A reader then some are all Kenyan gold board and some may read amo. Excavator track in Makamo. All I'm saying is that that means something artificial. One day, politics and project set to make us say. Emi, for the past 6 months, 7 months, men catch about governance. Because when they come in, you have to allow them to perform. To go with 24-hour economy, there was in a big push. They need otherwise you're near shame. So what you're not so or you feel Ghana will benefit from it. Hence, you are biased able to my idea. Into on the national can, I mean, me feel that job can and the national can match our lamentations. He still lamented about the things that MPP did. And what told about 4 years now, what I'm on in the year September, mobile 9 months. A good lament. And so, what to abandon? What have you done so far? But na baba ka MPP as maybe okay am dan dey bi obama mtiba do say Kennedy will win or a grassroots person na day ono bi I tried now to them can it is not the political party
but it's the personality of the person
personality.
Okay
Yeah no be change no am political party why then no why okay because leadership no ba obi change because your party from national region they to them to agree with him on that one too. There's some na doso. Inti obifi abrochi obande no nya dollars kakra. Ebi okaji bankru no oba no win the primaries. No or a member of parliament. And then gradually need deplete your quality in parliament. So obandema honors or satisfy grassroots but internationally I didn't catch on bibi non from bremana. Okwa no abe na abaze. Bibi katikati because nalan onte azina oyeden. Nasi. And so the means of I'm one year. Next year, international stage now, where we compete with other nations for our country to be wherever now. On no Ozinia. On in America, the CCN personality here Kennedy. On to maybe if Ashanti region, another if the missing is or a character votes. Character votes in the sense that we watch your name as in Obi say Kennedy say now come you Kennedy name as in Obi watch your votes them or but they were not your personality about Elder Rollins. Jerry.
It was more of his personality too, yeah.
Exactly. As I said, Kwame Nkrumah was more about his personality. My friend Lim Kuan Yew, personality. Anamobwa, Chairman Mao, personality. Winston Churchill, personality. And these people, at every point in time, come and recalibrate the political system. No, we should they take over. Into MMS in the year kind there, Yaboko, Obiar could be qualified. But qualified doesn't mean that you can cross the line. Across the line, I said, Ketiaba Abakanese, Julius Debra Abakanese, Obia Abakanese, which is good. But that's we hear stronger political opposition.
Also, unifier.
But on the dynamics in. And me, when I'm talking politics on radio and TV, I'm common strategy. Now, when you hear, I had India, President Mahama, or Krokron Waban, or Sana could be Manamoba. And every time we're back, there was Nipa for the Anamoba.
Nipa for the reanimator.
That be so where you leader for Anamoba. constitutional ban while about President Mahama from going for
Yes,
another term.
yes, yes,
They're
yes.
going to bring a new person. That new person as opposed to MPP. So what pen that them big push why Galamsey will solve BBI wire. Those are the things that will mark them on. But I tell people the CC happen motu mama when you free mama on free rider case next year.
Okay.
But when they do well, we also delve deeper as a political party with Kennedy leading us to bring the best to the country.
Equation I Kennedy band they'll find S. Yeah, if you to find the S. Can Ken himself find the S?
Oh, it's no
S no one
you know, say us today, say President Mahama, 1 million votes no, okay, take here 8 years. Na 1.7 million votes no. It means find it so maybe 16 years and I'm over.
8 years old.
That be President Mahama no 1 million no. Until 8 years will fee. Formula name. Na yakra 9 years what bring 1.7 million.
Okay.
Into to the nearest state. No, to the idea can take 16 years. Mo potata sa. X areas in abati no ko X no mun. Ono na mabo body industrialization, they pragmatic leadership. That those attributes, the qualities of a leader that people are looking for. And Ghana, ya that chance,
okay.
And you see, if he's saying that, that means or not here, a community, sir. Obi man, 11 o'clock, no man, wabe juma. What about one, also I'm a break. Break rock or kids for fruba, Uncle Bium, also China. Abrochi, juma 8 o'clock. Late, bear 1 minute, 2 minutes out. What to 15 minutes? Whisker the Anamoba. Late 15 minutes and above. What to half an hour? Into some clocking system no by minutes to her.
Okay.
10 o'clock.
Until all that them strategy is in the S now what they're banning. So it means that he has already figured out the S.
Now about I won't you pa. Obi always said question when you answer that.
Okay. That's true. That's true.
That's true. Okay. Yeah, said question. Yeah, what answers no.
Okay. Dr. Jabo, I say S ni nimu ho e wo Kennedy Japan ho. And I'm waiting to find the S chrono. But they have already figured out how to find the S.
That be not the formula, Baba.
S ni there, and notice all share your brand now. You say a duchum factor, and X is the factor. And it's in Lipo bet me Anya X na barrier a duchum.
Oh, okay. The duchum factor equals X.
Yes, a duchum factor, and it stands for a lot. You know, to find X, you need a special character, which is a factor. And it's in a duchum factor, Hona X no. You know, be to say I can 9 pay. And also ewo. Na sa 9 no. Doctor ya said duchum and a binya sa 9 abesos. Amana bros. Yedi nim say 9 no. Na 9 it can equate to 1.7 million votes. And looking at certain it could equate to a lot of votes. But what you say? And looking at Ghana politics, the dynamism, no. Oshimwa Sisia no and make us say a Brebiani leader almost share. Vim lady, I'm sure say you confirm with me on that the leadership style we need now, no. So we share Dr. Yao said with the transformational acumen and that qualities no one to go and find the X and the 9 extra no, will be easier. Pachoatia says, so China no omupe the omupe so munya obi obetimi agi China siwo. So in this equation, I could say China needed X and China wanted extra 9% to get to where they were. They looked for somebody called Sean Zempin. And aside Zempin, no, only leadership qualities, no, and then more China, every group baby or Madrid. Because to quite call Japan, Okopi Japan, who say Japan developed so much, and also quite bad so now move fire and develop it. I say, look, you trainee teachers and you training for just to study mathematics and engineering. And your call back, you know. And Okobwa China more find X in what regards? And Obama China a trainee students and one start or trainee teachers or starting from curriculum no or some curriculum, because those days not China curriculum, no, they see Japan for say the earthly evils, and to know anything historically, now they don't want to talk about Japan. Yeah, the you know. Some curriculum, no, ultimately be maths and other stuff, any engineering, the same method or concept, and a doctor ya said at the air and this leadership style, it means China, no, the man has it. We share the way we see school, say, well, I abrocheni, the obey or ha, any more gusuna. Nothing can attest to say. Nothing can detect, say, Doctor ya said, which you may know, to me, I find it excellent. You can reject that aspect, you know. And you know, no debate me finding X, and maybe based on what I know and being with him and the qualities he has, you know, he is the only person he can find the X and the extra 1.7 million. Guess what? They are all floating voters. And let's talk about how floating voters can be moved to a certain camp or a certain party. You have to be one. You have to be very disciplined. Two, your integrity values has to be high, and also you should be somebody seen as being 21st century leader. And you can't go beyond Dr. Yao said when it comes to 21st century. The man is very innovative.
No, you that's the conclusion. You said you have the S. That's the best conclusion. That is the highlight. I think
no,
that's the best
conclusion. Formula not that baby no.
And then what the formula
answer here as I make it Kennedy one on the make the first way theories Ricardo and David Adam Smith they did Kennedy no formula or the basis on the what the year Obiadi said Dr. Duchumbi on the make sure there Sisiano Obodu baby Kennedy be the president rather than football use Kennedy as a theory to learn how
that Kennedy developed that equation. It shows what he can bring to the table.
That's
okay.
I start time.
Okay, Martha said, my mom was Uncle Charles Missy. Okay, the S is with Ken. Dr. Duchum, they are not just finding the S because they have the S, but they will also bring the 9. No, Dr. Duchum, then they also one they have the S, but they are also bringing the 9 and they are also bringing the 1.7 into where develop one strategy, you know, further.
The man or
and another and they say what I said almost find it S into to find it S. Why?
Oh, Estefia, Mameka Semtro.
What kasa we are callers time or kasa. Yeah, next time. But we will continue to talk about Western region because I mean Western region Damakuma super. Because apart from gold, now we have already deprived Western region of the oil money. Oil, no. I was one of the people, I remember 2010.
Yes.
Advocating for 10% of the oil resources to go to Western region specific.
Yes.
No gold, now Sami Davis gold refinery and we are doing it in Accra. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. We must all make noise there. Either it goes to Western region, Eastern region, or Ashan. It must go back to the people. Cocoa clinic or Accra, Gold House or Accra. It doesn't make sense. It must go to the regions.
Sister, when they come to Western region, I just mean Benny Charles also. I just said that for a fast time, no.
Yeah, better.
Because I never come to Western region say, "You pet like your name kabum." I am telling you this.
But we must force the kabum under him. For we must force in kabum no. We must force it because
I think
Western region ain't it. Some election you ain't board dear Masanke. It's not good.
I think it's another form of resource curse. It's idea issue.
Yeah. We will do that
it's
on another
dimension of resource curse.
Yes. The mamenda when now I say Uncle Charles na Nana Tokuna Nakuponsha I say and I'm joining discussion. My Uncle Charles, thank you so much for joining us on this Galamsey issue. Crocs, Nana say, Mama, good evening. So, or comment be on this.
Yeah, Sister Pia, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
you so much for giving me this opportunity. I've been trying to get on your platform forever. I hope that the politicians know So the issue on Galamsey, it's a lack of leadership across board, straight up. Looking at it from every side of the divide, we don't have leadership in Ghana. Basically, we don't have leadership. With my little study on leadership, I realized that is the problem we're facing in Ghana and basically in Africa as a whole. Indeed, it's lack of leadership. If any leadership decides to solve the problem, you don't need 1 year, you don't need 10 years, you don't need 2 years. You can solve the problem. The Biamika say,
I think 8 years in Kabambe to me, BB actually said, Galamsey no deal with it.
Way more. I mean, even with this 8 months or 9 months now, or more, they could, if the government, if we have leadership, the government will be able to do something. We may not see the immediate effect, but we will see the pragmatic programs and projects in place. It's working to alleviate the problem.
Okay.
Leadership, it's Debia Obika said leadership is the cause, and every other thing is an effect. So leadership is paramount in setting the tone. So I say discipline is animal. If you study humanity, societies, discipline and structure does not come from the people, it comes from leadership. Leadership sets the structure and enforces the structure. And also it's leadership straight up, whether NDC or NPP. Leadership for pointing out, say there is corruption here, and because of that, you could not be successful in fighting Galamsey. I mean, to me, it does not make sense. You know, and the whole issue is lack of leadership, and especially the Canadian Japan camp, especially they like to do politics of dishonesty, which sometimes looking at all the people,
dishonesty is saying,
because some of the things they say, especially about Baumia, they know it's not true. Telling the people say Baumia is a liar. I mean, we all know. If we are going to list lies, all the politicians. I mean, all the politicians in Ghana.
Officially, I can't focus about me a liar. I think I'm say I'm sorry, failures and Bamintis a liar.
I've heard it from a couple of people from his camp talking about the fact that he's a liar. And he said he was going to do this, he couldn't do that. And they know the truth. They know why he couldn't do it. They know. What you call it? Dr. Baumia was not in charge of anything during the time of the 8 years.
Anything, cry was not in charge.
They claim that he's the head of the economic team, which was not true. We all know. I am not part of government. I am sitting from afar.
Economic management team. There's no say he was chairman of the management team.
Position. Most of the decisions they took without him. It was just a name, a title.
Nobody came to tell us when he was in government and he took the decisions without him.
Because he's part of the government. It's like you're washing your dirty linen in public. I mean, and they know. That is why I believe that they are doing politics of dishonesty. And the final thing I want to say, the fact to say, Dr. Ditchum, one of the favorite people, some of us who are looking for honesty and leadership in politics in Ghana are looking at. And on people that clean slate. I know, say the issue now, when make a statement to say, or no, I'm pretty sure say they went back and realized, say, internet, they are trying to find a nice way of dressing the whole thing up. Because as leadership, you take a collective responsibility even saying now, you take collective responsibility. And then, they've actually devised a good strategy to explain to people, say, yes, we're proud of the apology, but we want to say education. And if anybody would be able to fix the issue of Ghana and put us on the track to development, education should be paramount.
Okay, very well. Very well.
And Dr. Duchum, I'm looking at him. Say I don't trust any of the politicians, so I can't say that he has my trust. But I'm looking at him. He's caught my interest, and I believe that if all goes well, and he takes on the mantle, I'm hoping that he would not derail from all the things he says he's going to do. But one of these days, I want to plead with you for us to talk about leadership. And we'll realize
we've been talking about leadership for a while, but I can bring the topic back so that we can talk about it.
Yes, please, because most of these people don't fit into the criteria.
Okay, I'll bring it back. I think I'll see the next 2 weeks. It'll be our topic now. We can discuss it again. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, next 2 weeks. So trust I should say, but yes, sir. Yeah, good evening.
Stevia.
Good
evening. But I want to say.
In Mr. Bandam Pacho so light no so person kasa because where you my assume why na city up my come.
And you made it the best abo abaso because the juma ye dey Elipa kakra bi lebet me. I mean, a bit me I will stand that from my boy. Only tough skin na and never be on ma to me.
I
mean, it's good to be having good people like you still around because you've been in the terrain for over 20 years and they all can be anonymous. I am for back comment section no more church. Me say, hey, na my sister we or started yes and to do my new. I wouldn't say they are now be a family deal. I wouldn't Stefia. I mean, fast forward. Let's look up the issue of this Galamsey minutes. It's been a while now. But I am a binding bar or try the possible best to say or be regulated. Amanya sanity. Mkofa oyeni be anything. Mfamba. That notwithstanding, no. They say, Timmy Phonos, Stefia, over the past 4 or 5 years, say, what do I need to for me? The level of thinking of Ghanaians, no, as a sound. Among pest stories be more because normal politicians, no, they've kept doing it over the period of, time. It is no obia be hu omo antis na water tis omo de dey omo dey ba in the Galamsey issue ni dey me no in my candid opinion no I think say a collective effort jai blame games way by obey yes and this for say it's barely 9 months and omo exhausted all the protocols and all the powers of making media stop you anyway. We shouldn't be calling for a state of emergency as at this time. But me tell me me probably no ma asma be kan no o kasa no hwede because ochine bi no e betima ko fasa asam na side e dey aba
okay
timi na catch me say obi on na ni pe kasa hwe kasa ifri wa no ba na sa kasa ni betimi asa akofa e dey aba be gina wanim more opposition na more petumi no more condemn aban na our power because most of my feeling and me wan say nkofo bi akeka ma no atum e was asem we say but me na politics there obi petumi a omu chantro I'm President Mahama can say politics in the you chantro kakra ne aka no kakra nti na no de you be almost here no yeah in the first word no o hwa resource na e Ghana no and ejuma so ni Ghana what you say and a manko for the youth especially among etu oguso a omoye no even though financiers no honoma or more discussion mo there but Omono untimi nko hu say nipa we na behind you, nipa we na behind you. The offer countries be to say Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Venezuela, Angola, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Omo nyina no, omo natural resource agro senka all these countries senka develop it. But e didn't na e untimi develop it. Then we share me factors affect leading to resource scarce be a corruption, Dutch disease. O2 me that disease no O2 a good year no in the raw state now. Then you export it.
I don't wrap it up my hand. Time no.
I'm a wrap up we. Enti no ye nyina no yen kan ye hum baby a bedru no ya tra ye blame each other no yen kan ye hum bo step ya collective effort. Collective effort na ye nyina yen hu kwan papa so a am ye de be save Ghana because I think that the recent happenings in there enya de ye nika. Enya de ye nika kra medase.
Back to Mamina was baby. And I come back on back. Good evening.
Is that the Amadasi? Mechia
Yes, that.
Bushina. And then my Reman Kebe me yapa. Dear man me buy any year. Ye brother na or that's why I was soon diano. And in Nisu Yanti no. NDC Nino. Share MPP ye can be. Eka se MP Nanado winning 2016. Eka se NDC bebe bi ma this 2080 mu ho ena no obeba. Na ye nimche 40 years. But me problem a me wo MPP mu ne se ye enkabo mu. Hwe MPP fo so ase mu a omu gemu no dene. Ti se ye papa bi kasa ewo radio so wa America da bi o Canada Japan ayi kese on de wa ye na adwen se Canada Japan no enye Canada Japan a eni papa bi a ni MPP mo eno ni me problem but enka wo hwe mu a NDC ba nanka niema a wo mo se wo mo beye no o ma faili totally Oma fairly one district one factor and MPP for ye almost the 24-hour economy eba up to now ye hunu baby ekosi and the teachers a year examination a wo tra o kaso obetwam and then teachers na start here o mo kasa no so but problem Ghana for ye wo any say obi timi de na adwene ebe dada ye ne etie no because ni enim say yewura Don Mahama enye no kre no woka no ontimi mu o man no woni ideas bi e di bu o man no because ba bia na na do de o man ni koduru ye no say ye nya obi te say ba o mia to aso a enka Ghana nka ye duru heaven enka ye duru anigye krom nanso Ghana for entie say hwe cities no no UK me stop ya na me send sika edeko Ghana enso na no duru 1795 na bi mu kra ye 18 ena master tia me say me project etiba for message ai efri say eye na da eye azan ena omode ye cedi no because dollars ne tiba from eniema de ye nteso enti NDC for ma wo mo nso da ye say Ghana for ye adwini mu omre to the sense say de wo mo ye no omunhuni some people timi de 1 million BT wo mo a ene de 1.5 for BT nti de enti Ghana for ni obiem ye de omo ye ni ye a ye bebo o mabaso o ma nye ni ye a Ghana for omo be kire wo mo ye fa so
Nana na was so no so comment ade banda good evening so when him na yesu tie hu ni pakro
but so who manim
minim so da na hu ebebo a go bra Michael they won say aha I better yes
okay
yes
but me tell good evening but what to say
mba che hu ye ba che ti o
okay we dey em say ohwa obi a oba platforms bi nyuma bi obi ba ya everybody is doing politics na minim say politics na enya ade a ya de bone ehia politics but enya no nko a ena de teacher o man sisi a me no say me Germany or Cologne na me no kasa no so be kaya ma ba platform so no da buy and be politics ni bia that na me kasa ma ba omia but it's not sa me dwon so Argentina say to aba wie Ghana after election no na the next campaign for the next 4 years election has started. It means say yeah or mine to say politics in Kwana the most important thing. Me ye adwuma our health sector. Ade ba ko a mahu ni say
but you can't pay your voice in mammy. Kababwame.
but otimenka.
Aha, but voice will low cry.
Sisi ote.
Mete.
Okay. And the member base kakra. Na me kase ye to aba o Ghana ye to aba wi ya ye declare obi a wa win no. Saa da na ya sha se na prepare towards the next 4 elections. Enti ye do man no aya manyesem. Bibia ukọ na kọbọ wakra na epe manyesem party bi che dia show. Na so be kaya me ba platform so some time ago na me campaign sa men dindin de maba omia. But me sa tena sesa me dwon so no edie na me metima ye edi abo Ghana as a citizen because ye nyina ye were responsibility towards oman puntu. Na de ba ko a ahye no so ne say ye were a lot of yare chronic disease bi ti say asiche yare bi ti say pressure any de keke kan eku nkrofo because of the low level of publicity and also education or Ghana no people bebre o they don't know say bi a yare crash no ebia nsakra bi ba ne body mu kra na or find say normal or swat and say bia let's say typical symptoms like asociare unum so and so ujun so no bia ba hum no it's not usual.
2 point na so 2 parties the angel politics near can eno ana.
I'm not saying say angel politics totally. I mean say politics
the politics so near can health issues.
Until me say no anka ade ba ko anka mpese me tu onim say I will be ready and prepared.
Program where they political program program outline or the mommy politics. But sometimes health issues here political even health issues here political issue. Because the politicians they determine the policy. No more you parliament approve budget.
Yes.
But we say we also a timing. Timing now of near money is no almost primaries. We can't afford but to talk about this. After that, then we can table health near there. Why? Because I can't say they are promoting so can
but in this point now, no ya anka sisi na advance anka ye program yes adwentro menka say bia de can is not necessary. No, that's not what I'm saying. Say bia some ye bia wo ye program bia in between and I say you should be some 10 minutes in program. It should not be any 30 minutes because people have
different to me. This is my boss. But me purchase over that's why media say program can health. In lady view I friend Abigail Ashley on their health apomodem because or kidney survivor. It means some monitor on the everyday and your morning shows today be I can't pomodem wasem. Program back.
Then let us continue that.
The other programs by program and morning show be a segment.
So sister Pia umodu wait intino so say no
your farm eduma no say your politics because I want to hear me area my reporting about politics over 20 years. So
minim say oba takwade a umbitwa umbawo national health so say me takwade I know all this but what I'm saying is
my boss but you will be out na ho de me area nie why
Mate
make catch my boss so but I will share with you the other programs so I can help us so why
okay mate
mami na okay you Brad Rich good evening
evening Stefia me so mo asem kakra Mentias is MPP party woman. Obia jaba omia von kwa no mfo say omo in leadership. What is more ridiculous? Any me brabonzu. Obeka say oba begina so a na so to ayam pia o Emma Kennedy so e dey o. Person kire say ken von kwa na bibia no ye complaini na obi so beka say obi America on the bibia no o say nye kena. Omia supporters some kan ya so mo ntiana. Almost to me, you know, I can say, we can dia we NDC ni ya na nkofo de da de da okrumara say nya twomfo yam before de edesa say nya twumunti no ade kan de we kan uta kan chi dia de dia brand so NDC ni unka party no bi o ka ba omiya nko na we nsema wontumi mu keke na omate nsema cheme nsema wontumi keke omate
okay
nsema ma point mp e kan omate ada na before enya twumsa ana de obi na be tobi leadership me boa mako college obi am gonna nim book ekibu na nim leadership boa leadership na bro focus yen ni gina be gina no enti ya omo ba no mo kasa omo kan de ba omo be tunya ye
okay
na enso yan kan de kan be tunya ye ya mo mo kwa mo intimidate obi aze omo na be kire de yanka enti obi ani lemu ya ayi omo na be kire bibia omo ba omo ya na ko wa faili ene de ono bonjuse an na bo omo ya in charge o in charge na one reason and then so yasi bibia e wona ye edu economy de no onye in charge nka ze nkwada oguru ma on obi anya nkwada o nti omunya de omunya ye no obi antwe mo obi a ye nka no kore no wa feli nye fo ba fi from ra ye nkwada mra esro mo no omunya bibi nto obi a ye ne beto one about one that's
that
it
is mama na say Bra Michael, good evening. Bra Michael wa broche adwuma wa bre come on listen so wa bre wa da broche nye easy o suma ho abroche nye easy efisa for me efesi ami na munyina mo tse mo join here but Wednesday e ba mama more time mo timi aka se ti yakobon sha mo why se munyina mo join Bra Michael ko se wate ko se abroche adwuma so wada o camera no to ohun so wada o he unu ebu abroche ahwe bompa e ma no omo bre waso no camera no ba wa bre yo nti aseda kesen koma production team Mr. Hansen any David ne team ni nyina thank you so much good night Wednesday e essential